Hey everyone, Firescale Audiobooks here. If there's a novel you'd love to hear more of, you can support us on Patreon or Ko-fi. Depending on your tier, I'll make extra parts just for the stories you're most excited about. Usually I can only upload 4 to 5 parts of each novel, but with your support, we can go beyond that. And of course, don't forget to hit subscribe. It helps more than you know.
Luo Chen took off his helmet and glanced at the time, 7:30 p.m. He threw back the covers on the sofa, stood up and stretched, immediately experiencing a completely new sensation. 1 point of physical constitution and 1 point of mental strength have been added. He's full of energy right now. Luo Chen looked at the previous abrasions again and found that the scabs had fallen off, revealing fair new skin. The Destiny Crystal is truly amazing. Luo Chen's stomach rumbled and he quickly ran into the toilet. After taking a quick shower, Luo Chen felt incredibly hungry. Never take a shower on an empty stomach. He glanced at the box of instant noodles by the wall and immediately decided, let's go downstairs and have a big meal. A few minutes later, Luo Chen arrived at Xiang rice noodles shop downstairs. He took out 2 braised duck legs, 2 braised eggs, 2 pieces of tofu, 2 grilled sausages, and a bottle of soda from the thermos, then sat down and started eating. The charming proprietress looked at him with some surprise. Zio Luo, have you not eaten all day? Luo Chen chewed a braised egg twice and swallowed it directly. Then, after stuffing a piece of tofu into his mouth, he nodded repeatedly. The proprietress quickly opened the soda on the table for him, inserted a straw, and held it to Luo Chen's lips. Eat slowly, no one's going to take it from you. A dozen minutes later, after eating another bowl of chicken noodle soup, Luo Chen finally let out a satisfied sigh. Comfortable. The 10 tables in the shop are now fully occupied. Luo Chen got up to pay, scanned 50 yuan, and generously told the proprietress keep the change. The proprietress hesitated for a moment, then said, Zio Luo, that's 64 in total. Holy crap. Luo Chen turned to look at his seat and noticed 3 empty bowls of noodle soup and 3 soda bottles. It dawned on him, how could he eat more than a pig? Back in room 404, Luo Chen sat back on the sofa, clenched his fist, and felt somewhat dazed. I am somewhat different from ordinary people. I glanced at the time, it was 8:30. What are you waiting for? Go live now. After logging back into the game and quickly resting, Luo Chen bought a backpack full of random teleportation scrolls and teleported directly to Snake Valley. He's done for in the beach mine. Rumor has it that yesterday, the 3rd young master of the Wang family was frantically searching for him. The whole merchant circle is buzzing with the news. Anyone who provides the coordinates of the god of newbies will be rewarded with 500,000 gold coins. The Viper mine is in for a tough time today too. Therefore, his target is the Centipede Cave in Mengjiang Province. However, he did not intend to go directly through the Serpent Valley Pass into Mengjiang Province. Before the district was merged, in addition to archers, there was a special monster at the pass, Soul Reaper. In the original owner's memory, this monster, which looked like a dark, viscous tar, had no health bar and seemed impossible to kill. However, if a player gets touched by it, they will die instantly. Therefore, Luo Chen still planned to go to the east side of the first floor of the dungeon, through the connecting passage of the Viper mine. On the way, Luo Chen noticed that many players were taking advantage of the fact that the roads were not congested and were setting off for the mining area ahead of time. Intelligent people tend to think alike. Luo Chen had bought a backpack full of random teleportation scrolls in advance, so he didn't fight any monsters on the way. Finally, at 9 o'clock, he appeared in the connecting passage. To his astonishment, he discovered that there were already quite a few people there. This spot is taken, please move aside. The One Piece family has reserved the second bend in the track, please behave yourselves. This dead end is our territory where we keep a low profile and don't act arrogantly. Thank you for your cooperation. Attention comrades in the connecting passage. The area on either side of the center line is our Utopia's monster hunting zone. Please do not approach. This is a heads up for those passing through. What the hell? Luo Chen really couldn't believe it. Yesterday he could have the whole place to himself, but today it's turned into a vegetable market. Fortunately, he changed his goal. Just passing by, make way. Luo Chen greeted everyone politely and concisely. Despite the large number of people around, no one dared to cause trouble. God of newbies, the person offering a 500,000 gold coin reward for providing the coordinates. Purgatory. Countless players present were secretly engaged in the business of information brokerage. Some team leaders were disheartened. It's over, the plan to book the entire venue has fallen through. It is foreseeable that this place will be flooded with players in the near future. Luo Chen didn't care about that. As long as he's not surrounded, he has nothing to fear. This connection channel, while it doesn't support random selection, allows you to return to town. If all else fails, we can always go back and come back. However, for now, Luo Chen can only move forward by running. Fortunately, he was familiar with the area, and the monsters had already been attracted by the players who had booked the area. After about 10 minutes, he ran to the territory of the last group of players. There were more than 20 players in this group, and their names all had Utopia in the prefix. Just passing by, make way, Luo Chen continued to greet him politely. The players from Utopia responded very politely. Get lost. Okay, since the other side had more people, Luo Chen's temper improved. After crossing the center line, everything ahead is insect territory. There aren't any players around level 20 dominating this area. At most, it's just a small group of people cautiously leveling up here. Want to cause trouble here? The swarms of black maggots will not stand for it. Even the pincers swarming everywhere wouldn't allow it. Unless you have the ability to get them all to agree. Luo Chen has the ability, but time doesn't allow it. Yesterday, he was only wanted by the third young master of the Wang family. From the moment today's equipment rankings came out, his weapon, even more powerful than the Judgment Staff, a level 30 warrior weapon with 030 attack, became the target of countless players seeking overnight riches. It's not that these people don't want to kill him, it's just that everyone is very cautious. Players who have gone through all that trouble to come here are basically carrying a full backpack of potions, preparing to grind monsters and level up all night. PK now would be a losing proposition. Moreover, it's highly likely they won't be able to win. After all, being number 1 on the ranking list is no empty title. Luo Chen ran at breakneck speed, squeezing through every gap he could. The monsters in front of them were becoming increasingly dense, to the point that there was almost no room to put one's feet down. He dared not hesitate at all. Once surrounded, he would either have to return to the city or fight a desperate battle here. After advancing for a while, Luo Chen could no longer see any other players. He seized the opportunity and squeezed into a recessed area next to the cave wall. This is a perfect spot to trap the monsters. Only 3 giant worms can attack him. Luo Chen didn't start fighting the monster. Instead, he waited silently. A few minutes later, a figure appeared beside him. The silver-haired female Taoist priest Nai Xiaodi has arrived. Luo Chen breathed a sigh of relief. Xiaodi, if you hadn't come, I was about to head back to the city. Nai Xiaodi threw a talisman directly at the face of the rookie god, who resembled a ruthless bandit, and the restless swarm of insects immediately quieted down. Besides the 3 giant worms in front of Luo Chen, they were still writhing. The level 21 Taoist skill group Invisibility. With Nai Xiaodi's help, Luo Chen could finally start clearing monsters with peace of mind. After upgrading Purgatory to 032 attack, Luo Chen's attack stat is now 673, with a maximum damage of 80 per hit. 1-1x, 3 hits and a monster is gone, so satisfying. This time, Luo Chen didn't clear the entire area. Instead, he moved quickly along one side of the mountain wall. His goal was very clear, to go to the Centipede Cave. Moreover, this time Luo Chen picked up all the solar water and potent solar water on the ground. The checkpoint is guarded by 4 archers. He needs to be prepared. Binhai City. The chairman's office is on the top floor of the Wang Group building. An elderly man in a Zhongshan suit, sprightly and with a ruddy complexion, was now blushing with anger as he reprimanded a handsome but somewhat wicked and unruly young CEO. Third brother, how many times have I told you, don't treat this apocalypse like a game. And you, not only did you lose your apocalypse rights, but you also used a lot of the company's resources to hunt down that so-called rookie god. I'll emphasize again, from now on, you are forbidden from using any in-game public resources. If you want revenge, go find your 4th uncle, find him in real life. The young captain's face was so dark it could drip water, and he complained angrily in a low voice. But why didn't you tell me right away that the game character can't die even once? The eldest and second eldest both knew that. Snap, the old man slapped the young, domineering CEO hard across the face. I gave you 3 days' notice at the family meeting. What were you doing then, you be *****D? The young CEO immediately became docile. Despite his arrogant and domineering exterior, he was actually very afraid of the old man in front of him. This old man was decisive and ruthless, and he treated his family members the same way. After leaving the chairman's office, the young, domineering CEO's ferocious expression terrified his short-skirted, beautiful secretary waiting at the door, making her tremble. Tell Ah Bio to go find my 4th uncle and find a way to uncover the true identity of that rookie god. I'll make him regret ever being born. The beautiful woman's long, white legs were almost too heavy to stand, but I only care about the results. After spending more than half an hour, Luo Chen and Nai Xiaodi had advanced along one side of the mountain wall on the map to the place where the mutated slime spawned. And this boss is mingling among a group of giant worms, pretending to be a garlic clove. However, it is located near the mountain wall on the other side of the connecting passage. Luo Chen glanced at the map behind him. No one was around. They only cleared one-third of the monsters from the cross-section of the connecting passage. The remaining two-thirds have now dispersed and are evenly blocking the way. Even if there are pursuers, Luo Chen can detect them in advance, so he decided to kill the mutated slime. After all, this thing drops high-level equipment and even some top-tier items. The two are clearing monsters very quickly now, but Nai Xiaodi is clearly reluctant to waste her poison casting skills and is starting to let the pincers run rampant. Soon, the smaller monsters were mostly cleared out, and the mutated slime with 1500 HP was exposed. Just then, from around the corner not far behind, came chaotic sounds of PK, player versus player, battles and angry shouts, interspersed with yellow area-specific announcements floating in the chat box. "You damn bounty hunters, what are you doing stealing our pincers? I told you all, the god of newbies is right ahead. Let's unite and take them down. Brothers of Utopia, what kind of garbage have you sent over?" Luo Chen's heart sank and he quickly rushed towards the boss. Nai Xiaodi also cooperated closely, immediately applying the red and green poison. After dozens of stabbing sword strikes, the mutated slime unsurprisingly fell dead again, followed by a small explosion. Dozens of players of various professions also appeared in the field of vision behind them. Surprisingly, half of them were mages wearing magic robes, level 22 mage class clothes, and wielding crescent moon halberds. This time, Nai Xiaodi didn't hesitate and quickly applied green poison to the mage at the maximum distance. Luo Chen couldn't see her specific name, but it was still displayed as a white name, like a player with a blank space in the old Legend of Mir game. You couldn't see their name, but you could tell their PK status. Female ghosts really do get away with murder. Since warriors have short reach, Luo Chen didn't engage in combat. Instead, he quickly swept up all the equipment and potions dropped by the boss on the ground. Nai Xiaodi retreated while poisoning herself, quickly passing Luo Chen and reaching the 4 archer guards at the bottom of the connecting passage. Her poison casting technique has now reached level 3, and its duration is about 1 minute. A level 22 mage has 86 health points, a level 23 mage has 91, and a level 24 mage has 96. These 17 or 18 sorcerers, seeing that the female Taoist had been poisoned and had fled, vented their anger on the warrior Luo Chen. Well, of course, their target was this rookie god anyway. The word spread throughout the professional gaming community. Whoever gets the first blood will receive a 1 million reward. 1 million not in gold coins but in cash. Moreover, this money has reportedly been transferred to the account of the established guild Dragon Travels the World, and has received joint guarantee and notarization from 2 other major gaming guilds, together through Wind and Rain and Evil Eye. These 3 gaming guilds are renowned giants in the esports circle, and they all have physical companies and office buildings in the real world of the Eastern Federation. That's why these professional gamers are so crazy. Even real-life assassins don't earn that much per kill. Over here, Luo Chen, struck by more than 7 bolts of lightning, lost over 200 health points in an instant, leaving him with almost no health. The level 26 warrior has 334 health points, but he can't withstand focused fire. Startled, Luo Chen didn't even bother picking up the 2 large piles of gold coins. He drank 5 bottles of hot water and ran quickly towards Nai Xiaodi. He had prepared by collecting most of his backpack with sun water, intending to use it to force his way through the archer guards if he became a red-named player. But now, instead of his name changing color, he was being struck by lightning and scattered wildly. The professional mages, seeing this, became excited and while drinking potions gave chase. "I thought this guy was some kind of powerhouse, but he can't even withstand lightning." But they soon discovered that the green poison on their bodies was a bit abnormal. A moment later, they all stopped, shouting in terror, "Why isn't the medicine bottle replenishing our health, Taoist priest?" The 7 or 8 Taoist priests behind them immediately raised their hands to cast healing spells on the players. They knew group healing spells require level 33, which none of them knew. However, a few seconds later, the first mage collapsed and died in despair. Then, without exception, the remaining dozen or so mages were all poisoned to death. For a moment, the scene was eerily quiet. More than 30 professional gamers, half of them instantly fell. It turns out the awesome one wasn't newbie god, but his companion, the female Taoist priest. Wait, doesn't Apocalypse New Century prohibit the use of spaces in names? Report her. The female Taoist priest must be using cheat codes. And let's report the newbie god too. Then, the remaining Taoist priests and warriors with unwavering righteousness charged towards the items and equipment dropped by the mage on the ground. Luo Chen retreated to Nizioti's side, turned to look at the chaotic pursuers behind him, and couldn't help but admire the silver-haired female Taoist priest immensely. Impressive. Nizioti seemed quite happy, but her next action left Luo Chen speechless. She actually turned back and launched an attack on 7 or 8 Taoist priests. Luo Chen was startled and wanted to stop him. Hey no, Taoists have more blood in your poison. Nizioti's poison seems to be lasting longer. That's alright then. A level 24 Taoist priest only has 170 HP, so he will most likely be poisoned to death. The Taoist priest, who had been successively coated with green poison, was furious. Silver-haired female Taoist priest, you've gone too far. So they didn't flinch at all, first spraying poison, then unleashing a barrage of fire talismans. However, to their astonishment, the silver-haired female Taoist not only dodged half of the soul fire talismans, but the remaining half exploded above her head without causing any major damage. Even Luo Chen was shocked. He quickly opened Nizioti's equipment panel and took a look, then froze instantly. White Tiger Tooth Necklace, Weight 1, Durability 8, Magic Evasion plus 70%, Excellent plus 5, Taoist 1-1 requires 11 Spirit Power. What the hell, when did she find it? Luo Chen then recalled that when they were fighting the pincers earlier, quite a few of these necklaces seemed to have dropped, and Nizioti seemed to have picked them up and thrown them away. She pulled out such a top-quality item. No wonder Nizioti dares to take the initiative against the sorcerers and Taoists now. Next, let's take a look at the other equipment. Sure enough, there's a top-tier Taoist helmet, 2 gold bracelets with 2-5 magic defense, and 2 top-tier blue crystal rings with 0-3 magic defense. After quickly reviewing Nizioti's equipment, Luo Chen noticed that about a dozen warriors on the other side had already moved forward, preparing to kill the silver-haired female Taoist. How the hell could this be? Nizioti is equipped with full magic defense gear, so she definitely can't withstand a warrior's physical attacks. Therefore, Luo Chen decisively stepped forward and stood in front of the female Taoist priest. Of course, he didn't just tank the damage. Instead, he used positioning to lure the enemy in and then assassinate them. Upon seeing the SVIP target, the newbie god, appear, these warriors immediately shifted their hatred. Killing the female Taoist priest was just venting their anger, but killing the male warrior would really make them rich. All the enemies were thinking, what if I kill him? 1 million. Therefore, these warriors completely disregarded the extra green poison on their bodies and relentlessly pursued and intercepted Luo Chen. The Taoist priests who had been there earlier were now dying one after another, and their curses filled the air. However, the dozen or so warriors paid no heed, their eyes fixed only on the half-health newbie god. They've all started recording, eagerly anticipating and hoping to take down the bounty target. Seeing the rookie god's health points fluctuate wildly, they felt like 1 million was just around the corner within reach. I slashed him hard. He took a fatal hit from my attack. Go and block him from the front. I'm hanging up, watch out for his assassination attempts. His attack power is insane, it's freakish. I'm dead, whoever killed him, remember to send a red envelope. However, when the green poison was applied a second time, these warriors finally understood why their comrades on the ground had been hysterically insisting that they kill the silver-haired female Taoist priest first. This green poison is absolutely insane. Even the soldiers couldn't hold out. But it's too late now. With the last warrior falling, all 30-odd bounty hunter players were gone. What impressed Luo Chen was that not a single one of them ran away. They all died from Nizioti's green poison. Well, of course, it was also Luo Chen's doing. The corpses on the ground were still talking, cursing, complaining, blaming, regretting a chaotic mess. Just then, a colorful bubble, a special item, similar to a megaphone, floated up from the corpse of a female warrior. Hey, beautiful lady, what happened to your hair? The entire scene fell silent instantly. About 10 seconds later, bubbles actually started floating above Nizioti's head. Curse. After cleaning up the battlefield, Luo Chen gestured to Nizioti, then took the lead in passing through the checkpoint and arriving at the east side of the first floor of the dungeon. But as soon as he appeared, Luo Chen sensed something was wrong. In his field of vision, there was a dense, dark mass of players. Right beneath your feet is a bunch of level 24 mage fire walls. Luo Chen's body reacted faster than his mind. He drank a bottle of sunlight and flew away randomly. Fortunately, I was mentally prepared. Centipede Cave was a public map before the server merge. It's perfectly normal for someone to block the door. After flying over the random area, Luo Chen found that there were still players who had booked the entire area, mostly warriors followed by Taoists. Without hesitation, he flew a few more times before arriving at a relatively secluded spot, a corner where two teams were farming monsters. Luo Chen opened the large map, and his location was in the top right corner of the entire map. Luo Chen understood. Instead of fighting the monster, he continued downwards and arrived at the entrance of a cave a few minutes later. He waited there for a while. 2 minutes later, Nai Xiaodi appeared beside him. During this time, several groups of players hurriedly passed by Luo Chen, but no conflict occurred, even though Luo Chen was carrying the purgatory and wearing the God of War armor. Without any enmity, one would not dare to engage in PvP unless absolutely certain of victory. Anyone who gets here within 3 days of the server opening is a pro. After Nai Xiaodi arrived, Luo Chen took the lid and entered the gloomy stone house. I thought there would be someone blocking the door, but there wasn't a soul in sight. He knew he couldn't stay there any longer, so he immediately ran towards the next cave entrance. The next map shows the north side of the first floor of the dungeon. There are relatively fewer players here, but that's not Luo Chen's target. Continue with randomization. He had used up all the random teleportation scrolls in his backpack and had also used half of the random teleportation stones before he finally arrived at the stone tomb stream. Like the eerie stone house, the stone tomb stream is a small map with no monsters and only 2 exits. After crossing the stream through the stone tomb, Luo Chen arrived at his destination, Dark Zone. This map is not only intricate and complex, but also has numerous entrances. Furthermore, the Apocalypse New Century version magnifies it dozens of times, making it practically a giant labyrinth. This is the largest and most complex map of the entire Centipede Cave. At the same time, the monster spawn rate here is terrifying. If you're not strong enough, you can't even kill monsters as fast as the monster spawn rate. The more you fight, the more monsters there will be. So Luo Chen flew around a couple of times, found an area where there were no other players around and started grinding monsters. Today's goal: Level 28, learn it in half a month. Levels 26-28 require 700,000 and 1 million experience points respectively, making them extremely difficult. Fortunately, Luo Chen's attack power has now reached 80, which means he can kill black maggots, jumping bees, giant worms, and centipedes in about 3 hits, and pincer worms in 4 hits. In addition, there is the space-time damage from his assassination sword technique, so achieving his goal is also possible. With Nai Xiaodi's arrival, the two began leveling up by defeating monsters here. Although Nai Xiaodi had just gained nearly 4,000 PK points, she became stingy this time, barely using her poison skills and only giving them to Luo Chen. However, with her help to lure the monsters, Luo Chen's monster-killing efficiency was almost at its maximum. And so, leveling up by defeating monsters is often just that simple, unpretentious, and tedious. Luo Chen could only glance at the silver-haired, purple-eyed female Taoist priest from time to time to understand the essence of the saying, "A man and a woman working together makes the work easier." Time quickly passed to 2 a.m., and Luo Chen's experience bar was almost full. After luring a large group of monsters, Nai Xiaodi ran directly towards the groove in the mountain wall and suddenly disappeared invisibly. Luo Chen blinked several times before confirming that it wasn't a mutation in her invisibility technique, but rather that she had logged off. Waterfack, Luo Chen wondered, why log off in the middle of the night? However, he's not so afraid of female ghosts anymore. You go ahead and do your work. I have a whole warehouse full of super wound medicine. I've already bought it. I'll take it all out and use it later. Room 404, Building 4. The door latch clicked softly, then was quietly pushed open. A moment later, 2 people quickly entered from outside. The 2 men were thin, one tall and one short, and both wore black stockings with several holes in them. After entering the house, they left the door slightly ajar, quickly looked around, and spotted Luo Chen lying on the sofa wearing a gaming helmet. Looking at the flashing green status indicator light on the helmet, the short, skinny man holding the hammer gestured a couple of times, then whispered, somewhat tempted, "Brother-in-law, should we give this guy a good whack?" The tall, thin man was exasperated. "Are you stupid? He's wearing a helmet, how are you going to knock him out? Besides, we're thieves now, not robbers. You have to be willing to do what you do, understand?" Then he reassured him, "Don't worry. This idiot's playing a game, the one with ads everywhere. I've heard from others in the industry that even if you stripped them naked and threw them in the street, they wouldn't wake up." Hearing this, the shorter man breathed a sigh of relief. He took the hammer and searched the kitchen, bathroom, and master bedroom before returning to report, "Brother-in-law, there's no one else here. The only problem is the lock on the second bedroom door, it won't open." The tall man had just picked up Luo Chen's phone, preparing to unlock it with his fingerprint when he heard this and muttered, "What's that hammer you're holding? Just smash it open." The shorter man objected, "Brother-in-law, we're thieves now, we have to love what we do. Opening doors requires skill, I don't know how yet." The tall man immediately flew into a rage, "You idiot." However, he still put his phone on the table and strode towards the second bedroom door. "You blockhead, how many times have I taught you? There's no lock you can't open." A moment later, with a click, the door to the second bedroom opened easily. The shorter man said enviously, "My brother-in-law is awesome, he can do everything, no wonder my sister is so attached to you." The tall man, somewhat smug, quickly glanced into the second bedroom and finding it empty said seriously, "Brother-in-law, this household doesn't seem to be very profitable. Let's quickly search them up and move on to the next one." Nothing's easy to do these days. We have to stick to a low-profit, high-volume strategy. The short man sensed something was off about what his brother-in-law said, but he couldn't quite put his finger on it. The tall man returned to the living room, picked up the phone on the table, and was about to unlock it with Luo Chen's fingerprint when he suddenly realized it was switched off. A surge of anger welled up inside him. This idiot, didn't he even realize his phone was dead? All he did was play games. I'm going to strip him naked when he leaves. Just then, the short man from the second bedroom came running back, carrying a stack of things, his face beaming with undisguised surprise and excitement. "Brother-in-law, we've struck it rich. I found a pile of cash in the drawer of the second bedroom." The tall man frowned immediately. "You idiot, these are just a few almanacs. Where did this cash come from? Damn, it really is cash so much." The two thieves, wearing black stockings over their heads, were overjoyed. The tall guy even threw his phone back onto the sofa. "With hundreds of thousands in cash, why bother with this?" The short man quickly took off the empty backpack behind him and stuffed money into it. After tidying up, the two carefully went to the second bedroom, quietly closed the door, and then went to the living room, finally breathing a sigh of relief. At this point, the shorter man regretted his actions. "Brother-in-law, why did that family leave so much cash? I forgot to check again, there might be even more." The taller man was also somewhat tempted, but clearly had stronger self-control. A thief never leaves empty-handed, but he also doesn't steal twice. Even if there's something left, he'll leave it for his colleagues, ensuring sustainable development. The short man finally understood and quickly showed off his talent. "You mean you can't pump water to catch fish, right? That's called draining the pond to catch all the fish." The two paced back and forth in the living room for a while before sitting down on the floor, mimicking a driving motion. "Brother-in-law, let's not divide this money, give it all to your sister as a bride price." The shorter man immediately objected, "Brother-in-law, how can you give it all to her? You promised to take me to eat KFC, KWC, a family bucket." The tall guy slammed his hand on the steering wheel. "That's called KFC McDonald's, you idiot. What era are we living in? You still can't remember English. You need to keep up with the times." The short man clutched his backpack tightly, remained silent for a moment, then couldn't help but ask, "What's the meaning behind that exorbitant bounty our underworld boss put up? Why is he asking us to find a silver-haired woman with purple eyes? Did his wife run off with someone else, and a foreign woman at that?" The tall man grew impatient. "We're thieves, not detectives. We don't do cross-industry deals." After fiddling around in the living room of room 404 for a while, they got up from the floor again, and this time actually went out through the door. Luo Chen was having a great time fighting monsters by himself when suddenly, the silver-haired female Taoist appeared in the same spot in the mountain wall. After logging in, Nai Xiaodi immediately began luring monsters. Luo Chen has just leveled up to level 27. Nai Xiaodi has attracted a large number of monsters, so it's good for him to practice assassination. After applying a few healing spells to Luo Chen, Nai Xiaodi stood still beside him. Of course, she's not needed for fighting monsters now. They're all small monsters, no need for poison or talismans. Unexpectedly, a huge bubble appeared on Nai Xiaodi's head this time. "Bad guys are looking for me. Time is running out, it's daytime, I need to fight a special monster." "What the hell?" This time Luo Chen understood immediately and exclaimed in surprise, "You're a female ghost, a goddess, who would bother with you, the king of hell? And what special monsters or bosses would you fight?" After a while, Nai Xiaodi typed another line of text, "Juan, bounty, fight, nightmare, underworld." This time Luo Chen was stunned. It's understandable that the curse of the dead is made up of bad guys. But in the new world of Apocalypse, where did these monsters like Nightmare and Netherworld come from? His impression of it and the original owner's memories were completely gone. "Forget it, I won't ask anymore, it'll delay my monster hunting. I'll talk about it during the day." And so, the two of them went full speed ahead, frantically grinding experience points in the dark. Of course, after defeating thousands of monsters and constantly picking up and checking the equipment, Nizayodi also made quite a few unexpected gains. A magic bracelet with +4 attack, excellent +3, dropped by a giant worm. A cast iron ring with +2 defense and +5 magic, excellent +4, dropped by a jumping bee. A soul armor with attack 2, excellent +2, dropped by a centipede. As for the Taoist top-tier equipment, Nizayodi didn't give it to him. She probably kept it for herself. There were also quite a few minor gems with +1 upgrades, but Luo Chen didn't care much about them anymore. As for those top-tier equipment items with skewed stats, they were simply thrown away, such as the blue jade necklace with +2 Taoist magic, the skull ring with +2 magic, and the heavy armor with +3 magic. And you know what? The drop rate of top-tier items in Centipede Cave is indeed quite high. I've been playing for so long, and I haven't gotten a single special item yet. Luo Chen knew that special items like teleportation stones, return stones, and magic blood stones actually had the highest drop rate from scarecrows. However, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Apart from some gold farming players who would specifically go to fight scarecrows after level 20. Several more hours passed, and it was 7 o'clock in the morning. At this point, there were noticeably more players in the dark area. As levels increase and equipment improves, maps like this can no longer be monopolized. Looking at the extra groups of players around him, Luo Chen felt a pang of annoyance. There weren't enough monsters to fight. Before he could even make a move, a full group of players, 11 people, actually showed up at his door. "Brother, move aside, there are more of us." The area where Luo Chen was located was the most suitable terrain for monster farming in the surrounding area, and it also had the highest monster spawn rate. That's why some people are envious. Luo Chen, seeing this group of uninvited guests all above level 22, immediately became furious. What if I don't let them? Typically, in this situation, there are only a few possible responses. One option is to reason with them, saying you arrived first. This approach will most likely result in a competition where strength determines the winner. Secondly, ignoring them will most likely still result in a serious incident. Thirdly, given Luo Chen's response, a head-to-head competition is almost inevitable. As expected, the opposing warrior coldly replied, "If you don't give way, we'll send you back to the city." A large number of people means greater authority. Luo Chen couldn't resist taking action, so what if there are many people? There are only 2 mages, it's not very dangerous. Just then, Nizayodi next to her popped a bubble. "We're going to the lower level." The opposing warrior's leader immediately chuckled. "How considerate this beautiful lady is. How about this? You can be our backup. If anyone logs off later, we'll let you join our team, okay?" Luo Chen burst into inward laughter. Here comes the one courting death. As expected, Nizayodi immediately applied a layer of green poison to the warrior, and then to the other 10. Without saying a word, Luo Chen delivered 2 assassination attempts to the warrior in front of him. The opposing side was no pushover either. Ignoring the Taoist's poison spell, 2 mages and 3 Taoists immediately focused their attacks on Luo Chen, while the remaining warriors also quickly moved towards him. In their view, killing this warrior wielding the Hellfire Sword was the most crucial task. Luo Chen drank his medicine while running. After Nizayodi poisoned everyone on the other side, Luo Chen immediately flew away. His luck was off the charts again. He appeared right at the very center entrance to the dark zone. There were 2 clearly separated groups of players around them, and Luo Chen immediately spoke up. Just passing by, both groups of players remained on guard. Luo Chen quickly ran towards the entrance of the next level of the cave. At this moment, one of the Taoist players in one of the teams seemed to open Luo Chen's equipment slot and exclaimed in surprise, "Holy crap, a purgatory armor with 32 attack. Holy crap, a war god armor with 4 attack. I'm so damn excited. A helmet with 4 attack. Why isn't it from our server? Boss, let's loot it." However, it was too late. Luo Chen successfully reached the next level between life and death. There are quite a few people on this map now, but because it refreshes quickly, things are generally peaceful. Luo Chen continued forward without stopping, randomly selecting a few times, and successfully arrived at the map A line of sky. There weren't many players left in the narrow passage, but their strength was significantly greater. He had already seen several warriors wielding the purgatory weapon, Taoists wielding the silver serpent, and mages wielding magic wands. That makes sense. In the last few maps of Centipede Cave, there will be mini-bosses with 1000 HP, such as the evil pincer bug, which have a fairly high chance of dropping level 26 class-specific weapons. Especially in the one-line sky map, the evil pincer beetles that spawn almost always drop a large amount of loot. Therefore, players on this map have a stronger sense of territory. but they are also reluctant to engage in PvP. Having finally gained a foothold here, no one wants to be the one to benefit from the conflict between the two sides. Therefore, after passing through the lower right entrance of the narrow passage, Luo Chen arrived safely at the final level of the Centipede Cave map. Death Coffin. Luo Chen immediately flew to a random location as soon as he entered. But it seems no one is blocking the door. Moreover, monsters are everywhere here. For example, in one place Luo Chen randomly arrived at, there was practically no place to put his feet. That's a bit strange. He took potions and endured attacks from a bunch of monsters before he could barely clear a spot near the abyss. Don't worry, he wouldn't fall in, and only then could he gain a foothold. A moment later, Nai Xiaodi also appeared beside him. With the wet nurse's help, Luo Chen felt much more comfortable. He doesn't need to lure monsters. His monster-killing efficiency is now at its maximum. As for the assassination sword technique, it has already been upgraded to level 2. It needs to be level 29 to reach perfection. As Luo Chen happily grinded monsters, he wondered, why doesn't anyone come here to level up? A few minutes later, he found out why. Special monster beware. When Luo Chen suddenly saw the bubble floating above Nai Xiaodi's head, he became alert. Sure enough, a moment later his health began to drop rapidly at a rate of 50 points per second. Having already prepared himself, he immediately took off, while Nai Xiaodi disappeared even before that. As soon as he flew to another location, Nai Xiaodi appeared and cast several healing spells on Luo Chen. While clearing away the monster in front of him, Luo Chen asked with lingering fear, what kind of special monster was that? I didn't even see a shadow of it. Netherworld invisibility. Nai Xiaodi's typing speed has noticeably increased. Luo Chen felt a headache, a toothache, and general discomfort. What the hell? Is there really such a thing? How are we supposed to play? Disappeared 4 days later, Nai Xiaodi explained again. Luo Chen suddenly realized, no wonder the original owner didn't have these special monsters in his memories. They disappeared after the server merge. But what do we do now? Fight a guerrilla war? Luo Chen checked the time. It wasn't even 8 o'clock yet. After a while, Nai Xiaodi actually gave her advice. Go to the Dragon God. There are no special monsters there. Luo Chen was immediately overjoyed. You should have said so earlier. Let's go. The Death Coffin map shows the spawn location of the Dragon God, located on a protruding platform at the very bottom left, beyond which lies the bottomless abyss. Luo Chen flew around randomly dozens of times, and just when he had only a few random teleportation stones left, he finally arrived around the huge stone pillar at the bottom. But he soon discovered that around the stone platform not far away, a group of remnants, low-health players, were fighting the Dragon God. In Luo Chen's memory, the earliest Touch Dragon God had 1,000 HP, but the Touch Dragon God in front of him had a whopping 5,000 HP. If I remember correctly, the Dragon God's magic defense is extremely high, reaching 200, but its physical defense is 0. Its normal attack deals 1530 damage, while its green poison deals 10 damage per second. At that moment, Nai Xiaodi arrived. The team that was fighting the dragon also discovered the two people. Luo Chen chuckled, you guys keep fighting the boss, we'll just watch. But after hearing Luo Chen's words, even he, let alone the 5 players opposite him, felt a little insecure. Nai Xiaodi was also ready to take action. One of the opponents stood before the Dragon God, continuously petrified and being healed by 4 Taoist priests. The level 26 warrior, wielding the purgatory weapon, looked at the Dragon God, who still had a little over 3,000 HP left and felt extremely unwilling. Don't be fooled by the fact that only 2 people showed up. If they start causing trouble, we simply can't control them. As for getting rid of those 2 first, the Taoist Soul Fire Talisman cannot penetrate walls. If the enemy circles around the giant pillar, the 4 Taoists and 1 warrior on our side alone will have a slim chance of killing them. Upon opening Luo Chen's character profile and seeing his ridiculously powerful equipment, the opposing warrior instantly lost his last shred of confidence. Damn it, let's go. Having said that, he decisively ran a random run. The remaining 4 Taoist priests, without lingering in the fight, all left. If they're lucky, they might be able to return to the upper level of the narrow passage. If they're not so lucky, they'll have to go back to the city. As for coming back to fight, guess why they were so badly wounded and low on health just now? This side, Luo Chen was speechless. Seriously? Are you that cowardly? There are only the 2 of us. Shouldn't we at least have a little PK to test the waters? But the 5 people had already left and he couldn't get their thoughts from them. After the Dragon God was out of enemies, it immediately burrowed back underground. The scene returned to calm. There weren't many monsters spawning around, which is also unusual. Luo Chen was somewhat bewildered. Xiao Dai, there aren't any special monsters here, but there aren't any regular monsters either. What can we do here? Set up camp and sleep. Bubbles floated above Nizioti's head. Slay the dragon. What the hell? Luo Chen was a little unsure. Just the two of us. This dragon seems a bit freakish. Its attack isn't high, but its poison is potent. Can you heal me? I only have a few bottles of potent healing potions and sun healing potions left in my inventory. Nizioti didn't say anything, but directly raised her hand and cast a green poison spell on Luo Chen, then started casting healing spells. Luo Chen was taken aback, then realized. Nizioti's poison caused him to lose 3 points of health per second. The dragon god's poison caused him to lose 10 points of health per second, which was a good deal. Moreover, although Nizioti's poison cannot be treated with healing potions, her healing spells can be greatly enhanced. So Luo Chen ran directly to the coordinates in front of the touch dragon god, one space away, and watched as the touch dragon god's enormous, ugly body, resembling an evil centipede, emerged from the ground. Luo Chen raised Purgatory and began his assassination attempt from a distance. Nizioti immediately applied red and green poison to the touch dragon god. The dragon god's health had just been fully restored. It regenerates health when out of combat, and is now dropping at a rate of 3 points per second plus the damage from Luo Chen's assassination. Nizioti began casting healing spells on Luo Chen nonstop. The level 27 warrior had 354 HP. The dragon god's attack was 1530 normal attack, doubled in berserk mode. Nizioti's healing spell barely kept Luo Chen's HP up. Luo Chen's current maximum attack is 80 points, without switching to the death gloves since it grants +2 defense, and his level 2 assassination sword technique deals 80% damage. Since the dragon god has 0 defense, each of his assassinations can reduce the dragon god's health by 64 points. Moreover, perhaps due to the hidden effect of the luck 10, the chance of the dragon god paralyzing him was significantly lower than that of the warrior from before. Theoretically speaking, it would take a little over a minute, and at most 5 minutes to kill this dragon god. As expected, well, something unexpected will happen soon. Just as the dragon god's health dropped to 3,000 points, it suddenly went berserk and unleashed a crazy combo. Luo Chen's health points immediately dropped below 200, approaching the 100 mark, and he was also continuously paralyzed. He was startled and cried out in panic, "Little butterfly, I'm going to fly." Unexpectedly, a level 5 skeleton walked up to Luo Chen and got stuck between him and the dragon god. Just then, Luo Chen's paralysis wore off, and he quickly ran to Nizioti's side. A level 5 skeleton has 480 health points, which should be enough to hold out for a while. Despite the delay caused by summoning the skeleton, the dragon god did not burrow back into the ground, but continued to attack the small skeleton. 10 seconds later, the skeleton's health bar was depleted, while Luo Chen's health bar was restored. He immediately ran back to his original position and successfully assassinated the dragon god before the skeleton shattered. And so 3 minutes later, the dragon god let out a mournful howl and collapsed to the ground. The entire platform was covered with the items it dropped. In the upper left corner, a gleaming weapon caught Luo Chen's attention. But before he could make a move, Nizioti pounced on him like a tigress, quickly picked it up. And after fiddling with it for a while, presumably needing to change some equipment and add some Taoist magic, she finally equipped it. Wuji Staff, weight 15, durability 25-25, attack 8-16, Taoist skill 3-5, requires 25 spirit power. Luo Chen's eyes shone, but he sighed inwardly. Why wasn't it the Staff of Judgment? I wonder if the dragon god drops this. As for the potions and gold coins on the ground, Nizioti didn't let them go either, picking them all up. Finally, even ordinary equipment was picked up by Nizioti one by one, only to be discarded again and again. Luo Chen thought to himself, I've basically wasted my time fighting. I didn't get any warrior equipment at all. Fortunately, shortly after killing the dragon god, the platform was spawned with regular monsters. Moreover, according to Nizioti, there are no unseen, terrifying, special monsters here such as the Netherworld. So the two of them quickly started grinding monsters here. Especially to the west of their location, that area is teeming with monsters. Just before 9 o'clock, Luo Chen finally reached level 28. Nizioti's level must be above 26, because she has learned the level 26 skill Divine Armor. Luo Chen was preparing to return to the city, but just then Nizioti spoke. Wait, Knight the Dragon God, it's not poisonous what? The Night Dragon God doesn't have poison attacks. Even if it has 10,000 HP, it's not much of a threat. But where did she get that information? Luo Chen was now incredibly curious about Nizioti. How did she know so much? Why did she commit suicide? She also said she was cursed and that something called Juon was still tracking her. Could it be that this girl was some kind of decorative receptionist at Apocalypse New Century and was silenced simply because she knew too much? Well, she's not exactly a pretty face, she does have some skills. When I have the chance, I must feed her more fate crystal ghosts to improve her brain function so she can communicate better. Just as Luo Chen was lost in thought, 9 o'clock in the morning arrived precisely on time. The entire platform was instantly swarmed with monsters buffed by the nightfall effect. Of course, with their combined abilities, they could clean up the platform in less than half an hour. At this moment, Nai Xiaodi stopped poisoning Luo Chen and instead cast a divine armor spell before gesturing for him to step forward. Nai Xiaodi's skills seemed to reach maximum proficiency immediately after learning them. If she weren't one of his own, a female ghost, Luo Chen would have reported her. The divine armor spell added 5 points to Luo Chen's defense. Luo Chen had just followed Nai Xiaodi's advice and collected a large amount of potions before carefully stepping forward. The dragon god indeed broke through the earth. Luo Chen immediately unleashed an assassination sword technique. 10,000 HP. The dragon god began its attack, and indeed it no longer possessed the green poison and petrification abilities. After a while, Luo Chen confirmed that this guy's defense had doubled, but was still 0. However, his normal attack had become 30-60, which was extremely fierce. As for attack speed, doubling it is truly frightening. Fortunately, he assassinated from a distance, and he had the double protection of a large number of potions and healing spells, plus the defense of the holy armor spell, so he was able to barely hold on. If they can't hold on any longer, the mutated skeleton can come in as a substitute. Damn it! Upon seeing the bluish-purple level 7 mutated skeleton, even Luo Chen couldn't help but want to curse, cheating. Is no one going to do anything about this female ghost? Of course, Luo Chen only dared to complain in his heart. Besides, we're just teammates now. If our relationship progresses further, well, being a kept man isn't so bad. And so the fight went on, with the dragon god even managing to retreat once in the middle. It took the two of them more than 20 minutes to take down the nighttime boss together. The dropped items were only 5 items, not even gold coins or potions, but the quality of the goods has increased 100-fold, hasn't it? Destiny Crystal Purgatory Prayer Helmet. Super Teleport Stone Dagger, but what's with that last short sword? It just doesn't fit in at all. Nai Xiaodi picked up all 5 items. It's not that Luo Chen didn't want her, it's just that this woman was too fast. Damn it, I can't beat her at all. A moment later, Nai Xiaodi threw 4 of the items on the ground. The power of the Destiny Crystal Purgatory Super Teleport Stone Dagger. Luo Chen immediately perked up and quickly picked it up. This woman is someone I can date. The crystal was used directly, increasing strength by 1. Purgatory with a normal attack of 25, nothing surprising. Super Teleport Stone allows you to teleport 200 times randomly, an absolutely amazing item. Even the high-end shop doesn't sell it. As for the final short sword, Luo Chen examined it carefully for a while, somewhat puzzled. Why does it feel so strange? Short sword, weight 94 Jin, attack 311, forged from special refined iron. He tried it, but it didn't fit at all. No, what's the use of this? Is it a prop? Luo Chen asked Nai Xiaodi a question. Special, treasure. After the server merge, the second equipment slot will have an additional upgrade. What the hell? After packing up, Luo Chen returned to the city and contacted Fatty Jin directly. I still owe him 450,000 credits, so I definitely have to keep my word. Luo Chen arrived at the 222 warehouse private room, and Nai Xiaodi followed him there as expected. Fatty Jin greeted him with a smile. Another fruitful day, right? Luo Chen looked at him, somewhat puzzled. Fatty, don't you ever sleep? How come you're always here whenever I look for you? Fatty Jin was taken aback, and after a moment he said sheepishly, You're an SVIP, of course I'd schedule your time. Precise customer service is our motto. Well, as expected, there are no shortcuts to success. Luo Chen stopped talking and started taking out his equipment. Seeing this, Nai Xiaodi also started taking out some equipment that she didn't need and giving them to Luo Chen. Some extremely valuable items include a magic bracelet with attack 4, excellent +3. Luo Chen thought for a moment, then decided to wear the death bracelet with defense 2 and attack 3. A cast iron ring with +2 defense and +5 magic power, excellent +4. Durable gloves with +2 defense, excellent +2. Ebony bracelet with magic 3, superior +2. A regular infernal weapon with +25 attack. A Taoist helmet with 1-2 defense and 2-5 magic resistance, excellent +2. And several minor high-quality items. When Luo Chen saw the Taoist helmet just now, he was a little stunned. Why did Nai Xiaodi give me her own equipment? What do you use? But then Luo Chen opened Nai Xiaodi's character profile and instantly understood. Prayer Helmet Weight 2, Durability 6-8, Defense 3-4, Magic Resistance 1-6, Excellent +4, requires level 18. It turns out that the Night Dragon God dropped a top-tier item. Upon seeing such a massive amount of top-quality goods, Fatty Jin couldn't hold back any longer. He stared at Luo Chen in astonishment. Uncle Bird, even a studio with dozens of people wouldn't dare claim to have such a haul. Luo Chen shrugged, completely nonchalant. This game didn't originally have many top-tier items, but the more I played, the more I naturally acquired them. Yes, it's confidence, all right. Kim Jong-un appeared calm on the surface, but inside he was ecstatic. He'd really struck gold this time. In this new century, amidst the vast sea of people, how did I become Psy's exclusive partner? It must be pure luck. While Fatty Jin was negotiating prices, Luo Chen wasn't idle either. He was browsing the item sales information in their circle. A few minutes later, Fatty Jin made his offer. Uncle Bird, everyone in the rich circle is using credits to buy equipment now. Our most valuable items will also be sold in cash. Attack +4 Magic Bracelet 100,000, Magic +5 Iron Ring 100,000, Purgatory Ring 50,000, Magic +3 Ebony Bracelet 30,000, Taoist +2 Sturdy 10,000, Defense +2 Magic Defense +5 Taoist Helmet 10,000. Other equipment bundled together 40,000, totaling 340,000. Luo Chen felt this price was reasonable. Don't think it's unreasonable for equipment to cost tens of thousands. Gaming helmets alone cost a lot these days. The investment cost is very high, okay. Furthermore, those in the top-tier wealthy circles are certainly aware of the unique aspects of this new weather-themed game. For example, the existence of that messenger. Of course, these are the prices within the first 7 days after the server opens. After the servers are merged, the value of items and equipment will definitely fluctuate greatly. However, the price of Destiny crystals will definitely remain stable. After Luo Chen completed the trade, he angrily said, "Why am I still short 110,000? Fatty, did you rip me off?" Fatty Jin immediately protested, "Honestly, all this equipment has a purchase price. I only earn a 10% commission." It's industry practice, you know. Damn 10%, what a ripoff. However, Luo Chen didn't dwell on that. "Do you have any Destiny crystals in stock?" Fatty Jin paused, then said mysteriously, "I was just about to report to Uncle Bird that a customer wants to trade your level 32 Inferno weapon for a Destiny crystal, but what? Stop dawdling." Luo Chen didn't want to be the fat man's straight man. Fatty Jin looked a little embarrassed. The other party wanted to trade for 2 ghost crystals, so I felt it wasn't appropriate. After all, these crystals aren't very valuable. Before Luo Chen could react, Nai Xiaodi beside him began to poke him hard with the Wuji staff, and after a long while a bubble appeared. Change? Fatty Jin was stunned, wondering to himself, Ant Bird's gaming pod is still flooded and hasn't been repaired yet. Luo Chen was furious. 32 attack purgatory mine, what am I supposed to use now? I'll give you a judgment as compensation. Luo Chen asked doubtfully, "You mean it? What if you lie to me?" "I'm kidding you, I'll be scared out of my wits." Luo Chen stared in disbelief. "Holy crap, that's ruthless." After considering for a moment, Luo Chen said to Fatty Jin, "Get them to add another 200,000. Give me back that ordinary infernal weapon and transfer another 50,000 to me. We're even." Fatty Jin, oblivious to the bizarre nature of Uncle Bird and Aunt Bird's conversation, was overjoyed. "It's done. But you owe me 110,000 and Purgatory owes you 50,000. Even if I get them to add 200,000, shouldn't I just transfer 40,000 to you?" But he was emotionally intelligent enough not to dwell on it and simply said, "Wait for me 5 minutes." In fact, less than 3 minutes later, the fat man spoke up. "They've agreed. They'll send someone to our company immediately. We can give you the ghost crystal first, and then you can give me the attack 32 purgatory crystal. Everyone can rest assured." Okay, Luo Chen understands. While a few million might be nothing to a truly wealthy person, they're not stupid. What if they get scammed? Money is a small matter. The real issue is the loss of face. In fact, Luo Chen didn't have to wait long. A dozen minutes later, he received 2 Fate Crystal Ghosts and then casually traded them to Nai Xiaodi. Then he reluctantly traded the Hellfire to Fatty Jin, and 50,000 yuan was immediately deposited into his account. After switching back to the plus 25 normal purgatory gear, Luo Chen felt a bit empty, like the feeling after. Well, you know. As for Fatty Jin, he was quite generous. At the very end, he even gave Luo Chen 2 random teleportation stones, 1 return stone, and 2 mobile warehouse scrolls for free. As for the reason, well, what Fatty Jin just relayed to the big client over there was that the Master of Attack 32 Purgatory said that an additional 500,000 is required. Hey. After using 2 ghost crystals, Nai Xiaodi's condition improved significantly. She could even speak fluently again. Honey, I'm logging off now, going to sleep. Luo Chen was immediately shocked. Holy crap, who's your husband? I'm not Ning Kaichen, I'd rather be Su Xian. Also, I want to upgrade my weapons. But he could only think these words in his heart. On the surface, he smiled gently and said, okay. Seeing the two of them log off at the same time, Fatty Jin felt genuinely envious. Look at Sai, his career and love life are both so amazing. Room 404, Building 4. After taking off his gaming helmet, Luo Chen quickly went to the restroom, washed up, picked up his phone, and prepared to go downstairs for dinner. But suddenly he felt a wave of dizziness. Luo Chen was immediately shocked. Something's not right. He just ate a crystal and is now full of power, so why is he dizzy? Just then, the screen of the phone, which had been switched off, lit up, displaying an unknown text message. Lack of mental energy, a good night's sleep will fix it. Luo Chen was relieved, and then he noticed that the female ghost's typing speed was getting smoother and smoother. My head is getting increasingly dizzy. Luo Chen was too sleepy to eat, so he plopped down on the sofa and fell asleep immediately. It's wonderful to be young. Luo Chen slept until 3 p.m. before waking up. Only then did he feel much better. His stomach was growling with hunger. Luo Chen got up, ready to go downstairs for dinner, when suddenly he felt something was wrong. It's like the urge to sneeze. A moment later, Luo Chen stood blankly beside the sofa, his mind almost blank. Inexplicably, a black blade appeared in his hand, its edge gleaming coldly. Short sword. After a long period of downtime, Luo Chen finally restarted successfully, so shocked he almost forgot to breathe. What the hell, isn't this the weapon from the Dragon God explosion? How did it end up in real life? There was no such thing in the original owner's memories, but a man can play with a good wooden stick for ages. A moment later, Luo Chen excitedly wielded the 9-pound, 4-ounce short sword. Well, it's actually more like a long, broad-bladed scimitar made of special cold iron, making a ho-ho sound effect. Hee, I, Luo Chen, never imagined I could finally unleash a sword that chills 40 continents. Today, I have obtained this peerless divine sword, and my cultivation has reached a state of perfect harmony between man and sword. On this summit of Mount Hua, every single one of you here is utter trash. Ximen Chixu, the summit of Zijing Mountain, is not a place for you. Go downstairs and cool off. Linghu Chong, you're finished now that you've run into me. Hand over Yingying right now. Yang Guor, quickly introduce me to your aunt. Otherwise, don't blame me for being ruthless with my sword. Master Guo, is your wife home? I'd like to test my skills with her dog-beating stick technique. Zhang Wuji, I've heard your 9-yang divine skill is unparalleled in the world. Today, let's settle this once and for all. If you lose, Zhao Min will be mine and Zhuriuo will be mine. Extinction Master, never mind that, I'll leave that to you all. Just as Luo Chen was imagining himself wielding this divine weapon, traversing the 4 seas, wandering the 8 wastelands, commanding the world, and becoming the most powerful figure in the martial arts world, his phone suddenly rang, interrupting his grand journey. He picked up his phone somewhat angrily, and sure enough, it was an unknown text message. You idiot, aren't you hungry? What the hell? Luo Chen suddenly felt a little embarrassed. Damn it, his bizarre actions had resulted in him being seen naked by the female ghost, by Xiaodi. He quickly composed himself, adopting a calm demeanor, and coldly asked, Xiaodi, how did this short sword from the game end up in real life? And why isn't it purgatory? Ding, this time the text message response was very fast. Idiot, the Hellfire weighs 60 pounds, can you even lift it? Luo Chen was taken aback. He felt the 9-4-pound short sword in his hand was just the right weight. Okay, how do I put it away? Also, could you please stop calling me an idiot? Ding, another text message notification popped up. Okay, you idiot, focus and you can put it away. Also, aren't you hungry? 10 minutes later. Xiang Rice Noodle Shop. As for why it's always this one restaurant, well, it's definitely not because the owner is pretty. As the elegant proprietress wiped the table, she stared in shock at Luo Chen wolfing down his food. Even the pigs back home don't eat this much. Then she secretly rejoiced. Luckily, there weren't many customers in the store right now, otherwise it would definitely scare them away. Well, not necessarily. Some mukbang videos seem to be even more exaggerated than those featuring Xiao Luo. Luo Chen put down the 4th large bowl of soup noodles, burped, and only then did he feel somewhat full. This time, he voluntarily scanned the 100 yuan note and generously said, keep the change. The proprietress hesitated for a moment but couldn't help saying, Xiao Luo, you've eaten 2 roast chickens and a pork knuckle totaling 128. Let's round it down. Luo Chen was shocked. This is a ripoff. A meal at a street-side fast food restaurant costs over 100 yuan. Who would believe that? He paid another 28 yuan and Luo Chen thought resentfully, next time I'll try a buffet. I heard there's a buffet barbecue restaurant nearby called Kettle Barbecue, 78 yuan per person. Back in room 404, Luo Chen sat down on the sofa and then said anxiously to the air, Xiaodai, you said we don't have much time left. What exactly happened? Ding, Nai Xiaodi replied via text message. The Juan disciples are hunting me down. We need to acquire a set of apocalypse gear before the server merged to deal with malicious dungeons. No, aren't you already dead? Why are you still chasing after me? And a copy. This was the second time Luo Chen had heard those two words, and he couldn't help but ask curiously, what does malicious copying mean? There are special fragmented spaces that arrive ahead of schedule. The Cherry Blossom Park a stranger tells you about on the phone is one such space. There are also malicious spaces that you can be drawn into even if you only hear about them. Luo Chen was taken aback. So interesting, so dangerous. Can't I even listen to it? However, the first rule for survival in horror movies is don't do anything reckless. So Luo Chen stopped worrying about it and once again channeled his spiritual power to materialize the short sword, excitedly asking, is this weapon in my mind or in my dantian? Will it pass security? Can it cut through iron like mud? Can it cut vegetables? Exists in the Apocalypse backpack a peculiar space. It can pass through security checks and cutting vegetables is no problem, but aren't you tired, you idiot? With your current mental strength, you can only take it out and put it in a maximum of 3 times a day. Surprisingly, after Nai Xiaodi consumed 2 more ghost crystals, her communication became quite smooth. It's just that they don't really respect others. Forget it, why bother arguing with a female ghost? Xiaodi, why did you commit suicide? Also, are your photos edited? Is your figure really that good? By the way, are your silver flowing hair and purple eyes natural or fake? Nai Xiaodi did not answer this time. Luo Chen raised an eyebrow and changed the subject. Can't you talk? Why are you always typing? A text message notification appeared. Have you ever heard ghost stories? This question really stumped Luo Chen. Can't ghosts talk? That seems to be true. In Sadako the people, the one with long hair didn't really say much. Login, upgrade weapon. Alright, the female ghost in the house has spoken. Luo Chen tidied himself up and put on his helmet. We arrived at the weapon shop with practiced ease and spent 200 yuan to book a short stay room with Xiaodi. It's still room 404. It seems like no one has chosen this one. He bought 35 pieces of 12% purity black iron ore in one go, and was about to buy a blue jadeite necklace when Nai Xiaodi suddenly interrupted him. Upgrade this. Luo Chen took the Wuji staff from her in the trade and immediately felt a little bewildered. Big sister, I'm the main damage dealer when we're leveling up, right? You're just a support, what do you need? But Nai Xiaodi's next sentence shut him up. Go kill a special monster today, okay, you're a female ghost, so you're in charge. Once I've learned a couple of genuine Taoist techniques, I'll see how I deal with you. While complaining, Luo Chen bought 3 bamboo flutes. The level 23 warrior's blue jade necklace, the level 24 Taoist's bamboo flute necklace, and the level 24 mage's magnifying glass necklace are arguably the most cost-effective accessories for upgrading weapons. Of course, for those with deep pockets, anything goes. The Ring of Power, the Titan's Ring, and the purple conch shell are even better. Next, Luo Chen began upgrading the Wuji staff. Following Nai Xiaodi's instructions, he didn't perform the sword test this time, which involved making one cut with the upgraded weapon marked with an asterisk, but instead upgraded it 7 times in a row. 3.5 hours later, Luo Chen took out the Wuji staff asterisk with Taoist magic level 312 and calmly returned the weapon to Nai Xiaodi. Let's make this clear first, don't blame me if it breaks. Nai Xiaodi immediately accepted the deal, then stabbed Luo Chen with a stick. The sound of weapons hitting flesh rang out. Luo Chen stared in shock at the weapon in Nai Xiaodi's hand, overjoyed. It actually worked. Wuji staff, weight 15, durability 25-25, attack 816, Taoist magic 312, superior +7, requires 25 spirit power. Nai Xiaodi was also a little excited. After circling Luo Chen a few times, a large bubble appeared in her eye. According to the laws of Apocalypse, your lucky 10 should be able to trigger a low-probability event once a day, which is now confirmed. However, do not attempt to trigger it frequently, or disaster will surely follow. Luo Chen understood, okay, once a day. Any more than that will definitely harm your health, your mind, and your body. Then he looked at the silver-haired, purple-eyed female Taoist priest. You still have 15 minutes left to use this room. What do we do now? The female ghost Nai Xiaodi should have understood or perhaps misunderstood Luo Chen's words. I could probably drain all your energy in a minute, want to try? What the hell? Luo Chen gasped. Big sister, it's a misunderstanding. I'm still useful. This female ghost is so fierce. Binjiang District, Binhai Branch headquarters of Dongda Federal Bank. President Li, this operation is far too risky. The head of the bank's technology department said in a low voice, his heart pounding with fear. Despite it being the dead of winter, I was sweating profusely. The bank's heating was probably on high. If the risk isn't high, why would I call you over? This is something that Boss Wang from head office instructed me to do. If anyone asks, the unified story is, the bank account of the eldest grandson of the Sun Group was suspected of being defrauded. To ensure the absolute safety of its super clients, the federal bank secretly conducted a very thorough technical investigation, which turned out to be a false alarm. The head of the technical department nodded vigorously. Yes, 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 boss, I'll take care of it right away. I'll go personally. Could you please transfer the relevant personnel? President Lee, with a calm expression, said, notify all staff members remaining on duty to come to the conference room for a short meeting at 9:00 p.m. sharp. 18 minutes later, Wang's group building, 33rd floor. The heating in the entire building was turned up high. A burly man in a suit barged into the general manager's office, ignoring the disheveled female secretary in a short skirt lying on the sofa, and calmly reported. Third young master, we've found out. Sun Dada had 5 transfers exceeding 100,000 yuan in his bank transaction history within the first 3 hours of that day. They are Royal Grand Hotel, Binhai City Lizu Private Customization in Binjiang District, Binhai City Lingbo City Ocean Sports Association. Sun Zioji, Deputy Section Chief of the Special Operations Section of the Security Department of the Sun Group, and a deliveryman named Liu Chen, whose location is in the far suburbs of the old coastal town. The third young master of the Wang family's expression immediately changed. He quickly pulled his right hand out from under his high collar, shoved the female secretary into the secretary's office next door, then sat back in his boss's chair and said in a gloomy voice, Uncle Bio, is this the deliveryman? The middle-aged, burly man, Wang Bio, nodded and added, bank statements show that this Luo Chen once purchased the Apocalypse game helmet. The third young master of the Wang family took a deep breath, suppressing his rage, and said through gritted teeth, Uncle Bio, make it clean, but it can't be less than 2 hours. Make him regret ever being born. Also, don't use our people. The burly man, Wang Bio, nodded again, then turned and left. The third young master of the Wang family, his face contorted with rage, roared, you dare sever my qualification for heavenly revelation? I'll take your life. After hesitating for a moment, feeling an unventable surge of anger, he grinned wickedly and walked toward the secretary's office. 9:30 p.m. Luo Chen flew with half a backpack full of random teleportation scrolls before arriving near the left pass leading from Viper Valley to Mengjiang Province. He quickly cleared away the swarming snakes and asked the silver-haired female Taoist beside him, the special monster you mentioned, is it the Soul Reaper? Nai Xiaodi chimed in, indicating her agreement. Luo Chen had a slight toothache. This pitch-black mass, somewhat resembling a monster that had come to life from asphalt, was something the original owner couldn't possibly defeat. How to kill him? I'm poisonous, my husband will assassinate me. 0 mistakes or I'll die. Nai Xiaodi's words were both gentle and ruthless. Beautiful lady, although I'm handsome and have seen countless films, I'm still a virgin. Could you please stop calling me husband? It's mainly a bit creepy. I wonder how Ning Kachin got through it. Honey, I've watched countless films and I'm a virgin too, but I need yang energy. Mental energy is enough, but physical yang energy is more effective. Nai Xiaodi's words were as simple as eating and drinking, but they sent a chill down Luo Chen's spine. Then shout whatever you want, but save your physical yang energy for me. I've never been in a relationship before. It's such a pity she died while still a virgin. You're lying, goddess Liu Ru. It seems that women have very strong memories in this area, even female ghosts are no exception. Luo Chen couldn't help but facepalm, big sister. Original owner, I was just Liu Ru's simp. I didn't even touch her hand, okay? Damn it, you be *****D, you made me take the blame for you. Oh, by the way, how exactly did Liu Ru die? She couldn't have committed suicide, could she? Luo Chen asked casually. Ghost realm, she mistakenly entered your instance. Putting logic aside, she truly died because of you. Holy crap, is there no law anymore? Just then, 4 disgusting black monsters resembling sticky asphalt appeared before them, essentially a mass of venom. There wasn't a single player around. They didn't believe in bad luck. They died countless times in the past 2 days. I heard that unofficial game forums are rife with criticism about this. Luo Chen was a little nervous. He gripped the purgatory sword in his hand and confirmed again, Zio Dai, all I need to do is ensure the assassination doesn't fail. Even if it's inefficient, safety comes first. Yes, also could you call me wife? It would boost your energy and help you recover faster. Holy crap, you little ghost, you're pushing your luck. If I were to call you wife, I'd be Ning Kachin's grandson. A moment later, Nai took the initiative and applied red and green poison to the nearest Soul Reaper. Luo Chen tensed up, adjusting his route while complaining. Zio Dai cast Ghost Shield and Holy Armor on me. It doesn't matter whether it's there or not, Nai Ziode's typing skills are getting better and better. Luo Chen thought about it and realized it made sense. If you just get hit, you're dead. What's the point of having any safety measures? Seeing the special monster with a speed similar to that of the player, Luo Chen mustered his courage, picked up his axe and blocked its path. Thankfully, this thing is melee. 3 seconds later, Luo Chen unleashed an assassination sword technique, then quickly retreated 2 spaces. The sword's edge disappeared into the sticky black shadow, yet it felt as if it had caused no damage whatsoever. But the shadowy figure was clearly drawn to the hatred and turned to chase after Luo Chen. Luo Chen seized the opportunity and unleashed another assassination sword technique, retreating 2 spaces once more. A dark figure approached. Assassinate, then retreat. Sure enough, Luo Chen quickly grasped the essence. Nai Ziode, who was ready to provide support at any time, also breathed a sigh of relief and typed. Good, keep the pace, it's safe. The monster will go berserk when it loses 95% of its health. Run towards me immediately. Luo Chen understood. However, the monster could only be seen by its name, but not by its health bar, so Luo Chen had no idea when it would go berserk. After a back-and-forth struggle lasting about 10 minutes, Luo Chen suddenly noticed that the black name of Soul Reaper had turned red. Even its dark, slimy body began to turn white. Luo Chen immediately realized it's gone berserk. He dodged in time, narrowly avoiding the monster whose speed had doubled. Luo Chen ran away without hesitation, but the monster was even slightly faster than him. This sent Luo Chen into a frenzy. He ran towards Nai Ziode at full speed, shouting, "Wife, help me. In this life-or-death situation, Ning Keichen is my grandfather. If there's Sadako for the people, there's Luo Chen's ghost wife." Nai Ziode used a precise poison technique to redirect the berserk monster's aggro. Then her level 7 skeleton fearlessly charged forward. As a result, under Luo Chen's horrified gaze, the level 7 skeleton with a health of 640 points, Apocalypse data, was slapped into a pile of bone fragments by a special monster. Luo Chen couldn't help but shiver, almost losing control of his sphincter. Holy crap, that's brutal. The rest of the time was spent Nai Ziode using summoned skeletons to fight off the special monsters. Luo Chen then realized, no wonder she wanted to upgrade her weapon first, she wanted to poison the monster. Ghost, I misunderstood you. While keeping an eye on the battle, Luo Chen secretly opened Nai Ziode's equipment inventory and quickly glanced at it. I was shocked when I looked. What have you been doing behind my back? Nai Ziode, when did you secretly collect such a super high-quality set of equipment? A Wuji staff with Taoist Arts 312, Superior +7. A Soul Armor with Taoist Magic 05, Superior +3. A Taoist Helmet with Taoist Magic Power of 02, Excellent +2. A Bamboo Flute with Taoist Magic Level 15, Superior Quality +2. A Small Bracelet with Taoist Magic Power of 04, Superior +4. A Taoist Bracelet with Taoist Skills of 04, Excellent +3. A pair of pearl rings with Taoist Magic Level 05, Superior Quality +3. Luo Chen's eyes nearly popped out of their sockets. No way, big sister, you've been secretly picking up tons of good gear these past few days, and you've pocketed it all. No wonder you were cuckolded. Wait a minute, she's wearing a green hat, does that mean I'm going to cheat on her? Who could it be, the landlady downstairs? Pshaw, I'm very loyal in relationships, okay? Yeah, I'm only attracted to beautiful women. The proprietress actually has a pretty good figure. Luo Chen quickly calculated in his mind. A level 26 Taoist has a basic Taoist skill level of 2-3, so with Nai Ziode's equipment, her overall Taoist skill level reaches 645. No wonder she dared to bring me along to fight this freakish Soul Reaper. Well, if only she weren't a female ghost, Luo Chen wouldn't actually mind being a kept man. Anyone who's tried it knows how delicious it is. The special monster's remaining 5% health was finally depleted under the high-level Taoist Magic's green poison. With a loud bang, the viscous monster exploded like a firework. Thankfully, this was just a game, so the asphalt wasn't spilled everywhere and polluted the environment. But the drop rate for special monsters is just too pitiful. Luo Chen discovered that only 2 items were missing. As for what they were, a female ghost flashed by and he didn't see them clearly. After a while, bubbles appeared on Nai Ziode's head and she came out with a bad tone. How come it's all yours? Then she threw 2 things directly onto the ground. Luo Chen quickly picked it up, feeling as if he were warming himself by a fire in the dead of winter. It was incredibly refreshing. Destiny Crystal Spirit, Antique Bronze Ring. He used the crystal without hesitation, gaining +1 to his spirit. A sense of satisfaction filled my entire body. As for this unusual bronze ring, well, it should be some kind of apocalyptic weapon like a short sword, ancient bronze ring. Crafted from ancient, secret bronze, it contains a magical offensive power capable of harming the soul. Luo Chen glanced at the remaining three special monsters and thought the asphalt monster seemed quite handsome. Hey beautiful, wanna keep going? Idiot, you need to recover your energy. This is exhausting and you can't afford to make a single mistake. Luo Chen said annoyed, can you please stop calling me idiot? Then call me wife. Luo Chen immediately gave up. Forget it, I'm an idiot, no one can hear me anyway. Silly egg, silly egg, silly egg, silly egg symbol, let's get hyped. After resting for a while, Luo Chen patted his chest to the silver-haired female Taoist priest, full of fighting spirit. Beautiful lady, I'm ready. Nai Xiaodi was actually quite anxious, and upon hearing this, she immediately got to work. The second Soul Reaper was lured over. Having just gained a +1 to his spirit, Luo Chen found himself even more at ease when facing the asphalt monster again, finding pleasure in every stab. Fell is awesome. Nai Xiaodi, acting as a wingman, noticed that Luo Chen seemed a bit cocky and immediately typed a warning. Idiot, if you lose your apocalypse qualification, you're useless. I can only drain you dry. What the hell? Luo Chen immediately snapped to attention and became obedient. Damn it. I definitely want to watch Uncle Nine's movies a few more times when I have the chance, to see if I can find a secret weapon to subdue the female ghost. The moment this special monster turned red, Luo Chen decisively ran towards Nai Xiaodi and easily defeated it. Two more things fell down and I didn't see them clearly again. This time, Nai Xiaodi didn't share, she kept it all for herself. Luo Chen was inwardly resentful, but outwardly he smiled obsequiously. Big sister, I'm not tired at all, I have inexhaustible energy, shall we continue? Nai Xiaodi nodded. The +1 spirit boost that the little bull just provided has taken effect. Luo Chen was stunned for a moment, then realized what he meant and exclaimed in surprise, beautiful lady, you can nod now. Oh no, I mean you can use micro-expressions now. I just got a destiny crystal soul, it'll be very useful to me. Oh, I see. As for what the other item that fell was, Nai Xiaodi didn't say and Luo Chen didn't dare to ask. The third special monster, let's begin. It's still the same pattern, red opening, green poison, and Luo Chen's assassination attempt. A dozen minutes later, it was successfully completed. Two more items have dropped. Yet another female ghost flashed by. Luo Chen filled with grief and indignation. We're a gang, a team. Can I pick it up just once just to have some fun? This time Nai Xiaodi tossed down an item and typed, you got off easy. Luo Chen's eyes lit up and he immediately licked it, oops, tooey, and picked it up. The power of the Destiny Crystal. Luo Chen was completely satisfied. His affection for the silver-haired female Taoist priest was off the charts. My ghost wife, I love you. After resting for a while, Luo Chen couldn't wait to urge Nai Xiaodi to engage the last monster. Nai Xiaodi was quite satisfied with the young bull's energy. Continue the operation. Neither of them made any silly mistakes, so they managed to take down the last Soul Reaper without any major incidents. The silver-haired female Taoist priest's figure flashed by. Luo Chen, this woman's hands are really fast. Of course, this time Luo Chen had accepted the fact that he couldn't find any equipment quite calmly. However, after waiting for almost a minute without any movement from Nai Xiaodi, Luo Chen became impatient. Hey, wait, isn't mine. The crystal is mine, I can use the equipment too, but I don't want to give it to you. Holy crap, how can we tolerate this? Luo Chen immediately turned hostile. Nai Xiaodi. Let me tell you, if we don't split the spoils fairly, if we can't be honest with each other, I'll. Nai Xiaodi smiled without saying a word, quietly waiting for Luo Chen to utter the threat. Luo Chen thought for a long time, then finally said angrily, I'll quit the internet in protest. Rejecting internet addiction starts with me. Let's get this straight, if you dare to drain me dry, I'll turn into a demon and get you. Nai Xiaodi suppressed a laugh and threw a piece of equipment on the ground. Luo Chen pounced on the item like a hungry tiger, picked it up, and then eagerly examined it. Iron bracelet. Don't be fooled by the name, it embodies a strong will. When you go to the bathroom, you'll definitely not spray onto the toilet seat. Luo Chen was taken aback. What did that mean? Oh, accurate, right. Next, Luo Chen hurriedly used a random teleportation scroll to fly to the pass on the other side of the Snake Valley. Yes, the Snake Valley map has 2 exits leading to Mengjiang. A few minutes later, Luo Chen arrived at his destination with good fortune. Nai Xiaodi then appeared. Luo Chen stared at the 3 Soul Reapers before him, almost drooling. But after a moment he frowned, puzzled. Why is one missing? Unknown, type first, left with no other choice, Luo Chen had to get to work. Because of their current posture, their experience, the 2 of them finished clearing out the 3-headed asphalt monster in less than half an hour. This time, Luo Chen was fairly satisfied. He obtained a total of 2 Constitution crystals and 1 Apocalypse equipment, gold necklace. Don't be fooled by its appearance. This is a men's style perfect for a warrior to display his prowess. Hey, after finishing all that, it wasn't even 11 o'clock yet. Zyodi, it's still early, what should we do now? Holy crap, I'm serious this time, don't get the wrong idea. By the way, are there any other special monsters around? Nai Zyodi seemed to have gained quite a bit. Her expression was almost indistinguishable from a real person's. Upon hearing this, she frowned and after a moment typed. The only special monsters here are the ones we can fight. The ones in Woma Forest are invisible, and the ones in Bai Rai Men are ranged attackers. Let's go to the Stone Tomb Maze. The Stone Tomb Array is located in the very center of Mengjiang Earth City, and its shape resembles a 4-story pyramid. It seems that the entire earthen city was built around it. The entire Mengjiang province has expanded in area by at least 100 times. Absolutely ridiculously large. It seems that random teleportation scrolls and random teleportation stones will definitely be essential supplies for every player, whether at home or traveling. After clearing out the special monsters, Luo Chen easily arrived in Mengjiang province and quite luckily flew to the back gate of Tu City. Unbeknownst to him, at that very moment a bloody storm was about to erupt in the village safety zone of Snake Valley. Pillar, it's your turn, I'm about to have a mental breakdown from running. Taylor, you're not good enough, you only lasted 2 minutes. Stop dawdling. 3 of us are already dead. We finally managed to lure this thing here and the spoils are right in front of us. Boss, after we pull off this job, will we be hunted down by the entire server, become public enemy number 1? We all came from the same dorm and nobody said a word. How the hell would anyone know it was us? Your sister-in-law knows, she plays Apocalypse Online too and she's very unhappy with what we're doing. You henpecked coward. Didn't you find 2 return stones and a top-tier piece of equipment yesterday? You made over 3,000 in 1 day and your wife's still not satisfied. On the outskirts of the village near Snake Valley, 3 Taoist priests ran and exchanged verbal sparring. The 6 of them started luring monsters as soon as they logged in today, preparing to bring the Soul Reaper into the safe zone. Yesterday, during the day, they lured a lot of monsters with the night buff. Although many of them were killed by the big sword guards at the village entrance, they still managed to bring several into the safe zone. A very fruitful experience. Brother Tian, it's your turn to apply the poison. After running for a while with great tension, Zhu Zai spoke to the other Taoist priest beside him. 10 minutes later, Soul Reaper completely ignored the Greatsword Guardian's attack and broke into the safe zone. Then in less than a minute, the ground in the entire safe zone was covered with a thick layer of items and equipment. The 6 players remained silent, focused only on making money. On the other side, Luo Chen has successfully flown to the 5th level of the Stone Tomb. And you know what? Lucky 10 is really awesome. Of course, Luo Chen encountered no fewer than 10 malicious attacks along the way, but he did not retaliate against any of them. He was mainly in a hurry to get on his way, definitely not because the other side had a large number of people. After descending from the Stone Tomb formation, Luo Chen buried his head and wandered around aimlessly until he lost track of where he ended up. Nai Zyodi appeared beside him, staring at the identical Stone Tomb array before her. After a moment of silence, she typed, "You idiot, where have you been all this time?" Luo Chen raised an eyebrow. "Big sister, the Stone Tomb formation, didn't you say we were coming here?" "Idiot, what's the serial number?" This stumped Luo Chen. Who would remember this? Speechless, Nai Zyodi could only angrily go and provoke the monster. Luo Chen was completely confused. "No, was it wrong of me to listen to you? Women, what a hassle." And so the 2 of them stayed there, grinding monsters until 1 a.m. Nai Zyodi was still picking up the fallen items. Luo Chen felt incredibly frustrated. "I didn't want to pick up equipment before, but now I can't find it at all. You woman, just you wait. I'll make you vomit it all up sooner or later." Just then, Nai Zyodi suddenly typed, "Get out here right now." Luo Chen was taken aback. "No, I didn't go in either." Then it dawned on me, "Log off now." After receiving a positive reply, Luo Chen immediately exited the game. Luo Chen, who had just logged off, noticed a female assassin dressed in a dark black bodysuit, somewhat resembling Black Widow from the Western fantasy world, pressing down on him with clearly ill intentions. She was holding a bottle of potion and trying to force it into his mouth. Seeing Luo Chen suddenly remove his helmet, the female assassin was stunned. She immediately threw away the potion, then quickly grabbed a gleaming dagger and plunged it into Luo Chen's heart without hesitation. Then it tried to poke, but couldn't get it down. Luo Chen raised his hand and easily grasped the female assassin's slender wrist, still somewhat dazed. What do you want?" The female assassin appeared cold and ruthless but was inwardly terrified. What's going on? I'm a master of judo, karate, taekwondo, and yoga. Having dominated the coastal region for so many years, she has never failed. She is a renowned top assassin in the entire underworld, known as the Black Widow. How could we possibly lose to a mere greenhorn like him? But what the hell is this? Is he that strong? There was absolutely no way to resist. Black Widow tried to move her wrist but found it wouldn't budge. The female assassin was inwardly panicked, but a charming smile graced her face. Big brother, how about the kind of service where saying it will incur divine punishment? Looking at the Black Widow's figure and face on his body, Luo Chen felt a little tempted. Is their industry this cutthroat now? They're even offering door-to-door delivery. He then easily tossed the widow killer weapon off his body and placed the stolen dagger on the table, his face cold. You want to kill me? That's right, this place has also been severely punished by heaven and has already behaved itself. Thrown to the ground, bruised and battered, the somewhat bewildered black spider, yes, that was changed too, then professionally struck up a seductive pose, even deliberately showcasing a masterpiece. No way. Someone as handsome as you who would have the heart to kill you, I'm just rambling on because I'm bored. It was only then that Luo Chen realized. Although his opponent was a woman, when did his skills and reflexes become so amazing? To him, the speed of that sharp dagger was like child's play. Was it because I consumed a few more destiny crystals? Is it still the same few apocalypse equipment bonuses? Surprised by his significantly increased strength, Luo Chen's anger at Black Widow's assassination attempt on him was considerably lessened. Tell me briefly, what talents do you have? This left Black Widow momentarily stunned. After a moment's thought, she hesitantly asked, Handsome, do you know the winter of ice and fire, the kerosene lamp burning fast horse? Luo Chen glanced at the other person's black night clothes and frowned. You're not worthy to call me handsome. Also, can you dance? The kind that twists and turns. Black Widow looked a little confused. Seeing Luo Chen's displeased expression, she quickly said, Big brother, I can do the splits. After saying that, he did a 180-degree split right there on the floor. Luo Chen was dissatisfied. The angle was wrong. He felt that having them one in front and one behind looked awkward. Wouldn't it look better if they were on the left and one on the right? Black Widow was taken aback but immediately revised the PowerPoint presentation according to the client's requirements. Yes, oh my god, the chubby chef was heartbroken and said with a fawning smile, Is that right? Luo Chen was satisfied now. Actually, if one has no woman in their heart, drawing a sword naturally makes one a god, but the Tai Kai symbol is always a rotating yin-yang fish. Luo Chen was just starting to get restless when he suddenly felt a chill and saw snow falling again. Then a sinister woman's voice rang in his ears. This woman is filthy. If you dare, I'll dip you in soy sauce and eat you first. Luo Chen was so frightened that his legs almost trembled and he nearly ran away first. Holy crap, a female ghost. Why? Wait, when did Nizayodi stop typing? Are you talking nonsense? Black Widow, lying on the ground with her legs spread 180 degrees, was almost in tears, feeling utterly wronged. She was a top-tier assassin, feared by everyone in the industry. The infamous Black Widow had never suffered such humiliation before. A split, bro? I'm not kidding, this is a genuine high-level, textbook-perfect move. Try it out, it'll definitely work. This is outrageous. Yu Chen, not receiving a reply from Nizayodi, had no choice but to play the role of a virtuous man, picking up the medicine bottle lying to the side and coldly asking the woman on the ground, What's this? Black Widow's eyes darted around slightly and she smiled ingratiatingly. It's miracle water, perfect for setting the mood. Everyone who's used it raves about it. Luo Chen had never used it before, so he walked up to Black Widow and under her terrified expression, grabbed her chin and forced the potion into her mouth, no matter how hard she struggled. After a few gasps, the Black Widow rolled her eyes, fell backward onto the floor and passed out. Luo Chen then praised, It really works. Seeing her sprawled out like a sprawl, Luo Chen spat, Even when you're unconscious, you look this awful. And you dare call yourself a service worker? Thumbs down. Just then, a cold wind brushed against Luo Chen's cheek and a chilling bell-like laugh rang out. Are all men as lecherous as you? Luo Chen immediately straightened his back, his demeanor becoming stern. How could that be? They're not as lecherous as me, I'm not lecherous at all. A chill ran down his spine again. Your body doesn't lie. Holy crap, Luo Chen immediately squeezed his legs together. Don't threaten other people's family heirlooms so easily. If you have a problem, come at me. Big sister, why did this female assassin want to kill me? The chill left Luo Chen's body and floated beside the woman's body. A moment later, a cell phone floated up out of thin air, creating a somewhat terrifying scene. Luo Chen understood, stepped forward to take the phone, and then used the woman's fingers on the ground to try them one by one. It wasn't until she tried her right middle finger that she was able to unlock the phone. Luo Chen immediately opened his phone's photo album and looked through it for a long time, but found no useful information. At that moment, a chill settled on Luo Chen's shoulder. It must be Nai Xiaodi looking at her phone with him. After searching through messaging apps and text messages, Luo Chen finally found a special bounty. Excluding delivery driver Luo Chen address photos below asterisk. Requirements. The death process must last at least 2 hours, provide 4 sets of valid photos and 2 sets of videos. Bounty, 2 million credits. However, this message is from an unknown source and neither Luo Chen nor Nai Xiaodi will trace it. Just then, a soft, sweet female voice sounded in Luo Chen's ear. Open her hidden photo album. Luo Chen was taken aback. Why is Nai Xiaodi's voice changing so much? But her current voice is really nice. He quickly reopened the photo album and found the hidden folder. As for how to open it, it's the same as always, the middle finger of your right hand. Upon seeing the photos inside, Luo Chen's eyes widened instantly, unable to look away, tears welling up in his eyes. This female assassin's hidden photo album was completely pixelated. Yes, many of them were her candid conversations with different men, using various techniques that left even the seasoned film buff Luo Chen speechless. I've learned something. Luo Chen was engrossed in his critical appreciation when a somewhat tempting voice suddenly reached his ears. After you've finished reading these, scroll down. What the hell? Luo Chen immediately believed Nai Xiaodi's words. It seems she really has watched countless films, fellow traveler. After watching for a while, Luo Chen slowly realized something was wrong. This is getting really weird. The male protagonist above is still the same man who fought naked with the female assassin, but his current fate is horrific. It looked exactly like a slaughterhouse. Especially the enormous crispy sausages processed by the female assassin, the sight of them sent chills down Luo Chen's spine. This woman is practically a female praying mantis, a black widow spider. Luo Chen was about to turn off his phone when a gentle voice stopped him. Take another look, this is a rare opportunity. Holy crap, Luo Chen immediately threw away his phone, declaring righteously, these malicious photos must be completely banned. Damn it, what are you, a female ghost, looking at this for? After circling the female assassin twice, Luo Chen rested his chin on his hand in thought. What should I do with this woman? Can you drain her dry? A chill drifted around Luo Chen. It's so filthy. Luo Chen frowned, then his eyes lit up. He picked up his phone, scrolled through his contacts, found a number and dialed. Hey, is this Officer Li? Why are you calling me in the middle of the night? What time is it? The time doesn't matter, get up and have some fun. Stop dawdling. Do you want a third class, first class, no second class merit? If so, 404, see you there. After hanging up the phone, Luo Chen grinned from ear to ear. Zio Dai, I guess I've gone all the way to help her. I've seen her to her final resting place. A chill gently caressed his handsome face twice, then he chuckled. That's called punishing evil and promoting good. About 10 minutes later, there was a knock on the door. Luo Chen immediately darted forward and opened the door. A police officer and a member of the joint defense team walked in one after the other. Luo Chen patted Officer Li on the shoulder and laughed heartily. Old Li, your promotion and fortune are just around the corner. Old Li ignored his disrespect and instead frowned as he went to the living room, bending down to check the woman's breathing. What's going on? Zio Chen, a member of the joint defense team, watched the woman on the ground with some tension, his eyes fixed on her chest, probably to prevent her from suddenly attacking someone. Luo Chen picked up the woman's phone, skillfully unlocked the password with her middle finger, and opened the hidden photo album. Old Li, if you caught a serial killer, especially a really twisted one, how many levels could you gain? Police officer Lao Li stood up, took the phone with a serious expression, and after a moment his expression was so dramatic it could be a theatrical performance. Holy crap. Then he immediately picked up his mobile phone, what kind of phone, and excitedly reported to the command center. Crossroads second-level police inspector Li Fan, ID Crossroads. Suspect in the Crossroads major case has been spotted and subdued. Location room 404, building 4, Crossroads. Requesting SWAT team support. Luo Chen stared blankly at Old Li's overreaction and couldn't help but remind him, hey, this woman can't even move, why are you calling the SWAT team? You two should just carry her back, maybe even get a bribe from the joint defense team member Chen. Old Li, his eyes red, growled in a low voice, little Luo, my lord Luo, you don't understand. Then he solemnly instructed Zio Chen, the auxiliary police officer, you've hit the jackpot today, luckily you came with me, didn't you want to get a permanent position? Do your best. Just then 2 more people suddenly jumped into room 404. They were wearing black stockings and each held a single-shot shotgun and a silencer, respectively. They snarled menacingly, "Don't move, you son of a b asterisk asterisk ch, hand over widow sister." Luo Chen was startled. How come there are still ruthless bandits? Black Widow still has male followers. That's incredible. Police officer Lao Li in the living room was immediately shocked, while Xiao Chen, the auxiliary police officer, hadn't recovered from the shock and joy he'd just experienced. Upon hearing this, his face flushed and his eyes shone with boundless power. "You dare steal my opportunity? I'll kill you all." After saying that, he drew his baton and charged at the two armed robbers. Police officer Lao Li was horrified. His right hand flashed to his waist as he shouted, "Watch out." As for Luo Chen, he didn't have time to do anything else, so he simply picked up the medicine bottle from earlier and flicked it lightly. With a loud bang, the shotgun emitted a burst of sparks, and a large amount of steel pellets struck the silenced thug next to him. The thug screamed in pain. As the silenced pistol in his hand was fired, the bullet passing through the left arm of the auxiliary police officer Xiao Chen and grazing Lao Li's buttocks. If Luo Chen hadn't kicked Lao Li in time, the bullet would most likely have hit him in the groin. At that time, old Li will become Santa Claus, Grandpa Li. The ruthless bandit, trembling, tried to reload, but was fiercely tackled by Chen, the neighborhood watch volunteer, and Lao Li, the local police officer. They struck him on the foot, mouth, and head with a stick, shattering his bandit dreams in 3 blows. Almost simultaneously, deafening police sirens blared downstairs. Luo Chen quickly sat down on the ground, concealing his merit and fame. Gunshots rang out, people were arrested, and wounded were injured. Old Li, his eyes red, angrily cursed at Chen, the auxiliary police officer. "Are you F asterisk 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 G tired of living? You F asterisk 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 G dared to charge at 2 guns. If you were to die, how the F asterisk asterisk K am I supposed to explain to your parents? You F asterisk 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 G." Xiao Chen, the joint defense officer, clutched his injured arm without uttering a sound, but his eyes betrayed his undisguised joy. Looking at the wound on old Li's buttocks, the SWAT team leader exclaimed with a face full of emotion, "Old Li, you almost became a eunuch. If your wife knew, she'd definitely fight you to the death." A SWAT officer standing nearby tried to help stop the bleeding but was pushed away by him. The SWAT captain glanced at his subordinate, exasperated. "No sense at all. What's the point of stopping his bleeding? Let him bleed. The more he bleeds, the happier old Li is. Damn it, I'm just scraping by today, while old Li got the big prize. Little Chen isn't bad either. Want to join our SWAT team?" Xiao Chen remained silent, glancing at Officer Li, but his expression betrayed his delight. The SWAT captain made no attempt to hide his jealousy of Lao Li. "Lao Li, you son of a b asterisk asterisk ch, in a few days I'll be calling you boss, damn it." Old Li's buttocks were bleeding, staining his entire lower body red, but he still accepted the cigarette offered by the SWAT captain and took a satisfying drag. Just then, a commotion erupted in the hallway. A moment later, the deputy district head of Chacha district in Binhai City and the director of the Public Security Bureau arrived at the scene. Of course, he came with the boss and the squad leader. Luo Chen, squatting like a quail beside the sofa, was inwardly astonished. "What a commotion! I should have just carried the female assassin downstairs. Look at this mess. The landlady is definitely going to start yelling and cursing tomorrow." When Luo Chen saw Officer Li recounting the entire process in front of so many leaders, except that he changed the story from receiving the phone call to actively discovering the clue, he finally breathed a sigh of relief. Yes, that's exactly what he was telling me, giving me so many instructions. Luo Chen had no desire to go for tea. It was so cold, playing games at home was far more pleasant. Moreover, Nai Xiaodi seemed a little afraid of the police officer's presence. She had already run to the second bedroom and hidden inside her gaming helmet. After a busy morning, with all the important figures having left, the old leader pointed to Luo Chen on the ground and said, "Is he the tenant here?" Old Li immediately chimed in. "Xiao Luo used to be a delivery driver. He got injured a few days ago and even received threatening phone calls. I'm keeping in close contact with him." The old leader nodded. "We must take full responsibility for the safety of the people that—" Old Li interrupted his superior. "Don't worry, sir, I'll handle it. Leave Xiao Luo to me." The old boss frowned. "You're still going to try to fix it? Get the hell to the hospital right now. If I didn't know it was just a scrape on your butt, I'd think you were going to die." Old Li smiled sheepishly. "Then it's up to you. Congratulations, Lao Li." The old leader smiled sincerely, then turned and left. The funeral home staff cleaned up the mangled body, wiped the floor, and then left. And you know what? They're really professional. Not a single bloodstain was left on the floor. Only a few special police officers remained in room 404, Lao Li and Luo Chen. Old Li then yelled at Luo Chen, "Are you sure you don't want to go? This is a chance to make a name for yourself." Luo Chen shrugged. No thanks, I'm timid and afraid of trouble. It wouldn't be good if someone held a grudge against me. Old Li wanted to say something but couldn't find the words. He could only angrily say, you F asterisk 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 G better watch your own safety, don't think you can. Luo Chen coughed immediately, then thought of something. Right, could you please give the landlady a banner of appreciation? After all this trouble, I'm afraid she'll start yelling at us like a shrew tomorrow. Old Li waved his hand. She's probably overjoyed, don't worry. Besides, that kick you gave me just now was really hard, it didn't hurt as much as my gunshot wound. Luo Chen immediately stood up and quickly pushed him out. Go to the hospital right away, get checked for cervical erosion or something, don't leave any lasting problems. Old Li was so frustrated he almost choked. After a long pause, he finally snapped, still in the mood for games. Close the doors and windows and get some sleep. I'll come find you at dawn. After everyone left room 404, Luo Chen locked the door and finally breathed a sigh of relief. Damn it, who hired someone to kill me? Luo Chen pondered for a long time, but apart from the game, he couldn't think of any enemies. The third young master of the Wang family. He immediately ruled it out. That possibility was unlikely. He probably didn't know his real identity. Unless this guy had connections to the highest levels of the federal system who could get them to take risks for him. Or Luo Chen couldn't help but let his thoughts wander. Could the original owner of this body be the illegitimate son of some super family, conglomerate, or political bigwig? Now that they're dividing up the family fortune, are the family members all turning against him? In my past life, there were many similar storylines in CEO romance novels. Although the possibility is extremely slim and the plot is simply too absurd, but that doesn't matter. Mindless, feel-good dramas still have a market. As Luo Chen continued to empty his mental energy, a cool sensation rushed into his arms. He was immediately startled. Xiao Dai, what are you doing? Are you trying to absorb my yang energy? A soft, slightly weary voice sounded in his arms. Yes, the righteous energy of the law enforcement agencies is quite harmful to ghosts. I need to recover. Luo Chen had a toothache. After hesitating for a few moments, he murmured, let's make this clear first, don't suck too hard, take it slow and steady. A few seconds later, Luo Chen suddenly felt a chill run down his spine, causing him to shiver involuntarily. Then a voice filled with gritted teeth rang out. I'll kill you so you'll be my soulmate. What an idiot, get back into the game. Luo Chen breathed a sigh of relief. Luckily, he was only a carry in the game, not a winner. Xiao Dai needed him. You still need to have values as a person. When they logged back in, the two were still in the stone tomb formation. In the new century of apocalypse, there are probably hundreds of stone tomb formations, but until now, only the two of them have stayed here. Moreover, the monsters spawned incredibly frequently. Red boars, black maggots, wedge moths, and other monsters are almost impossible to kill completely. Although Luo Chen now knows the Crescent Slash and with the Luck 10 buff, he can kill them faster than a mage burning boars, but he still can't keep up with the respawn rate. And so, both of their experience points increased rapidly. Inside the Stone Tomb maze, you can occasionally find red and black wild boars with 500 HP. Their drop rate is much higher than that of ordinary wild boars, and they have a higher chance of dropping rare items and even high-level skill books. Every time Luo Chen saw these two types of wild boars, he felt an itch to get them, hoping they would drop him a skill book like the fiery sword technique. The wedge moths are so annoying, damn it, and they don't drop items on their own. When Luo Chen reached level 29, Nai Xiaoti's inventory was full, and she started giving Luo Chen equipment. This greatly pleased Luo Chen. This woman finally knows how to repay her Uncle Bird. However, the equipment Nai Xiaoti threw away was all useless to Luo Chen. Although it was top tier, it was practically worthless. Next, Luo Chen shut down the Moon Palace and began practicing his skills. A dozen minutes later, Luo Chen's assassination swordsmanship finally reached its maximum level. Just then, a red boar with 500 HP finally dropped a usable skill book, a level 30 savage charge. Nai Xiaoti didn't try to snatch it this time. Luo Chen happily picked it up, opened the mobile warehouse scroll, and stored the contents of his backpack. When 9 o'clock arrived, Nai Xiaoti took the initiative to suggest returning to the city, and Luo Chen naturally did not object. However, he couldn't help but urge, when are you going to pay me back for the Staff of Judgment? Are you trying to renege on your debt? Tomorrow morning, I'll go with you to kill the cult leader. Okay, you said it. Luo Chen found Fatty Jin, and just as he finished dealing with the items, Nai Xiaoti urged him to log off. Sleep, eat, recharge, and head to Binhai University. Luo Chen was immediately flustered. Big sister, Liu Ru and I are truly innocent. Besides, she's gone, where would she be? By the way, can't you still speak in the game? Speaking in the game wastes soul energy. In reality, thanks to your spirit, only you can hear it with almost no cost. After explaining, Zyodi continued typing. At night in the game's fragmented space, the Ghost Realm dungeon opens. There might be competitors, but the drop of special soul crystals is very important to me. Holy crap, a game instance. Luo Chen finished tidying up and was about to go to sleep when he suddenly heard someone knocking on the door. He opened the door and saw it was Officer Li. Holy crap, aren't you going to sleep? You're getting old, staying up late isn't good. Luo Chen complained, completely oblivious to the fact that it was morning. After much persuasion, they agreed to talk again at 5 p.m. And Luo Chen yawned and went to sleep. As for the claim that someone just died in a 404 error, how can they be so careless? Well, the female ghost Zyodi effectively raised his mental threshold. Luo Chen slept until 3 p.m. this time. He was woken up by hunger. At the intersection near Luochen residential area, there is a self-service barbecue restaurant called Kettle Barbecue. It's actually a barbecue restaurant. Around 3 p.m., there shouldn't be many customers normally. But now, something is clearly not normal. A dozen or so people were watching a large, obese man weighing over 200 pounds wolf down his kebabs. This big fat guy is a famous food vlogger in Binhai City, currently taking on a kettle grilled meat roulette challenge. Within a limited time, you will receive a reward of 2,000 if you finish the designated set meal. Otherwise, you will be charged the original price. The fat man tried his best to chew and swallow, but he was clearly struggling. Finally, he put down the skewers of meat in his hand, gave a wry smile to the camera and said, "Family, I have to admit, the portions at this barbecue restaurant are really huge, I can't eat anymore." Right there in the live stream, a figure dressed in a food delivery uniform appeared behind the large man. Luo Chen rushed to the barbecue restaurant, feeling like his stomach was about to be digested. As soon as he entered the shop, he noticed a crowd gathered around a large, overweight man. On the man's table lay a mountain of grilled lamb skewers, beef skewers, chicken gizzards, chicken wings, large prawns, fish balls, and shrimp balls. With his last shred of rationality, Luo Chen confirmed the price with the barbecue restaurant owner. "You're an all-you-can-eat barbecue restaurant, right? 89 yuan per person, all you can eat. Holy crap, the price went up. 89, you can eat whatever you want." Luo Chen immediately pointed to the roast meat on the fat man's table. "Give me 2 portions, the same amount as him." The group was immediately taken aback. Even the fat man's eyes widened. After hesitating for a moment, he advised, "Delivery guy, you can't finish this. Don't ruin your stomach for 2,000 yuan." Luo Chen was puzzled. What was this fat guy talking about? Can't finish it. Can I have a bite of the barbecue on your table? The fat man tried to kindly advise him, but Luo Chen's eyes were practically spitting fire. He grabbed 2 large handfuls and started wolfing them down. Luo Chen felt that his body had reached a bottleneck, constantly demanding energy from him. After finishing a skewer of meat, Luo Chen finally felt better. The fat man quickly handed him a bottle of water. Luo Chen nodded his thanks and grabbed another handful of skewers. Has anyone else experienced that feeling of being so hungry that you want to take a bite of bitter melon? Meanwhile, the fat man next to him had quietly adjusted the angle of his live streaming equipment so that he and Luo Chen could be seen in the frame. His live stream usually only has a few hundred or 1,000 viewers, but now it has several thousand and is still growing. The screen was filled with comments. "Big fatty, this really isn't just for the show. This delivery guy can really eat. How many rounds has he eaten already? His profile is so handsome. It's a shame he's a deliveryman. Hey fatty, can you ask him for his contact information? I want him to deliver takeout. You want him to fix the sewers, right? My drain is clogged too." Half an hour later, the owner of the barbecue restaurant in Shuik was dumbfounded. Big Fatty was overjoyed. Tens of thousands of people in the live stream chat went wild. This unknown food delivery guy seems to have broken the record for food vlogging in Binhai City. Looking at the entire Eastern Federation, they're all among the top. Hey buddy, drink some warm water. You absolutely can't drink any more sugary drinks right now, they're bad for your stomach. Luo Chen took the glass of warm water from the fat man and thanked him again. This guy is a bit chubby, but he's a really nice guy. After downing the glass of water in one gulp, Luo Chen stood up contentedly. Amidst the puzzled looks of the crowd, he smoothly scanned the QR code to pay. Ding, 90 yuan has been credited to your account via XX Pay. Luo Chen waved his hand generously. Keep the change, 5-star review. Everyone was stunned. The barbecue restaurant owner stammered, "Young man, I'd like to." Luo Chen was startled. "Isn't it a buffet? Don't even think about it. You can't even think about it. The buffet was supposed to be 89, but I gave you 90. I'll pour water on you and leave a hole. No one can change your mind." The fat man next to him wanted to persuade him to accept the shop's reward. 2,000 yuan in cash, but seeing Luo Chen's very firm attitude, he had no choice but to give up. This young man is so unpredictable, we can't figure him out. The fat man's live stream room completely exploded. Seeing the delivery guy's excitement, the barbecue restaurant owner went along with it, his face beaming with smiles. "Brother, you're generous. Here, take this pack of cigarettes." Luo Chen asked in confusion, "What's going on?" Unsolicited kindness is always suspicious. "I don't smoke. How about you get me a bottle of Baijiu instead?" "Really? Then give me the most expensive one." 4:50 p.m. Luo Chen sat on a stool in the local police station, legs crossed, and said casually to Old Li, "Look, I knew you were injured, so I specially bought a bottle of Baijiu to visit you. It's expensive. Aren't you touched?" Old Li stood there too afraid to move. The abrasions on his buttocks hurt even more. "I don't drink. With that kind of intention, you might as well give me a pack of cigarettes." "What the hell?" Luo Chen was stunned. Had something gone wrong? Was I supposed to accept that pack of cigarettes? I wonder if the barbecue restaurant owner would still offer to replace it. Just then, the door to the police station opened, and a group of police officers in formal attire walked in. The one leading them was the old leader Luo Chen had met before. He paused for a moment when he saw the liquor on the table, then smiled and said, "Old Li, are you planning to treat me to a drink tonight?" "Old Li, work hours." I'm off these 2 days, so let's have a drink." Luo Chen, hey, Old Li, didn't you say we couldn't drink?" 7 p.m., room 404, building 4. A chill rushed out the moment Luo Chen closed the door. Luo Chen was taken aback for a moment, but then he thought about it and realized that he had just eaten and was full of yang energy. He decided not to be stingy. As a result, a silk bra appeared out of thin air in Luo Chen's hand. "Wear this and I can go out with you." "What the hell?" Luo Chen subconsciously rubbed it with his fingers. It felt nice. It was the same underwear that had been on the balcony, the one he couldn't find no matter what he tried. They all smell the same. A dignified man of 18 feet would rather die than wear that. "This garment is inhabited by my soul. It can protect you from bullets." "Damn it, why didn't you say so earlier?" After a moment, Luo Chen said helplessly, "It's too small, I can't wear it." Unexpectedly, the silk underwear slowly grew larger, eventually becoming the size of a t-shirt within seconds. Luo Chen was satisfied and was about to put it on over his thermal underwear. Only when worn close to the skin will it provide bulletproof protection. Luo Chen didn't refuse this time. "Well, I must say, silk is so comfortable to wear next to the skin." Nai Xiaodi chuckled to herself, thinking to herself, this way she could efficiently absorb yang energy and also leave 404. This Luo Chen has so much yang energy, but he's so stingy. Luo Chen put his thick delivery uniform back on and also put on the helmet that had saved his life. After hesitating for a moment, Luo Chen asked, "When are we leaving? Should we upgrade our weapons when we have time? We haven't used our active luck skill yet." The ghostly realm at Binhai University may open at any time after 9 p.m. You'll likely encounter other people. Successfully completing the dungeon also requires luck. Luo Chen nodded, okay. He opened the map on his phone, searched for routes, and immediately felt a headache coming on. Damn it, the subway right outside the door doesn't go directly there. It would take 2 hours by bus and subway. A taxi is too expensive. Maybe I should ride an electric scooter. Go to my room. There's a car key in the left-hand drawer in the middle of the wardrobe. Luo Chen picked up the gaming helmet and went to the second bedroom. He was going to hide the gaming helmet. It was worth 100,000 yuan. It was the most valuable thing he owned. The door to the second bedroom opened automatically. Wearing bulletproof silk underwear, Luo Chen was not afraid. He walked into the room and couldn't help but sniff. It smelled G good. A chill ran down Luo Chen's spine. He shoved the gaming helmet under the bed, then quickly opened the wardrobe by the wall to get down to business. Then he discovered a lot of exquisite lingerie, and well, there were also some outer garments, but only a few pieces. A strange, pleasant fragrance wafted into Luo Chen's nostrils, causing him to shiver involuntarily and feel a little. "Well, happy, hold your breath and concentrate, quickly find the key." What kind of car is this? The key looks weird." Before Nai Xiaodi could answer, Luo Chen quickly went downstairs. Time is of the essence. A few minutes later, Luo Chen ran to the underground parking lot of a shopping mall across from the residential area. He went down from the vehicle entrance. Most delivery drivers know that sometimes it can be awkward to take the elevator while wearing your delivery uniform. Just as he was looking around, a car drove out from the entrance behind him and honked its horn arrogantly. It shattered the tranquility of the entire parking lot. Luo Chen raised his hand to block the high beams and saw that the other car was a Porsche sports car. The driver couldn't see clearly, but Luo Chen noticed that the license plate wasn't screwed on. It seemed to be magnetically attached, indicating that the car was frequently driven without a license plate. He was about to move aside when a head popped out of the driver's side window. "You damn delivery guy, what are you doing blocking the way? Get out of the way." Holy crap, Luo Chen was furious. "That's so rude. I'll screw on your valve stem in a minute." After circling around twice, Luo Chen finally found the car that Nai Xiaodi had mentioned in a corner. This shopping mall is barely thriving. As a result, there are many abandoned cars in the underground parking lot. Fortunately, Nai Xiaodi's car was covered with a car cover. Luo Chen quickly removed the car cover and nervously pressed the key. Holy crap, what Nai Xiaodi said actually makes a lot of sense. This car has been parked for several months and it still has power. Well, it seems this car is indeed of good quality. Luo Chen frowned immediately. "Xiao Dai, why does your Ford only have 2 doors? Is it a Ford Mustang? But why isn't it got the Ferrari emblem?" Nai Xiaodi's voice rang out softly. "Don't all men like cars? You can't even recognize this? Disappointing." Holy crap, Luo Chen, annoyed, opened the car door and got into the driver's seat. "I've seen countless cars. Isn't this just a high-end Ford N's tin? Armani? I've heard of it." Hu Xiaoyao is the spokesperson. Nai Xiaodi, unable to contain herself any longer, exclaimed, "This is an Aston Martin, the Vantage, my favorite car." Luo Chen finally managed to start the car, but it felt completely different from many of the cars he'd driven. Everything felt awkward. "What the hell is this? It's not even as good as Liu Xiang's wife's used BMW." Nai Xiaodi fell completely silent. Luo Chen floored the accelerator. It was all right, it hadn't broken down. "Let's go." Luo Chen drove the car to the toll booth, then stared in disbelief, dumbfounded. The automatic payment screen displays, "Parking fee of 5320 yuan is required." Holy crap, that's outrageous. Luo Chen grumbled and took out his phone, ready to scan the QR code to pay. Suddenly, a brilliant idea flashed into my mind. Luo Chen put down his phone, quickly reversed and parked next to the passageway, then ran quickly to the Porsche sports car he had just seen, easily removed its magnetic license plate, and precisely affixed it to the front of Nai Xiaodi's car. Then they got on the vehicle, left the warehouse, and it was all done in one smooth motion. Luo Chen was thrilled. "I saved several thousand yuan." Nai Xiaodi stared blankly at Luo Chen's audacious actions, puzzled. "You should have hundreds of thousands in your account by now. Why would you care about such a small amount?" Luo Chen retorted confidently, "The money in the card is mine. Why should I pay the parking lot?" Nai Xiaodi was speechless. "Are you really that stingy? What are we going to do in the future?" Luo Chen drove to the entrance of the overpass, pulled over, removed the magnetic license plate, and threw it far into the river. "Consider yourself lucky, kid. I won't tighten your valve stem." Luo Chen generously let the Porsche driver off the hook. "Yes, my thoughts are clear and I feel relaxed and happy. I was bursting to pee, so I just peed right into the green belt to irrigate it." He shook it off, put it away, and then suddenly remembered that Nai Xiaodi was still on him. He was immediately shocked. "Holy crap, you didn't peek, did you?" A mocking voice rang out. "It's not like we haven't seen it before." Luo Chen was frustrated. "I was careless. Get in the car and floor it. Anyway, the car isn't mine, hee hee." Luo Chen sped along, arriving at Binhai University at 8:45 a.m. He found a spot to stop by a small river opposite the girls' dormitory building. Just as he turned off the engine, 2 rather attractive girls approached hand in hand. Their eyes lit up when they saw Luo Chen. "Brother, you can't park here, you'll get a ticket. Also, why are you wearing a helmet while driving? Is that an Aston Martin? Are you here to experience the life of a food delivery driver? We can show you around, we know the roads very well." Holy crap, Luo Chen got out of the car immediately. "I really am a food delivery guy. I've been absent from work for the past 2 days." The 2 young women's eyes lit up when they saw Luo Chen, who was dressed in a delivery uniform, wearing a helmet, and was quite tall. We order takeout all the time. Can we add you on WeChat? Also, can we sit in this car for a bit? We just want to take a picture." A chill ran through Luo Chen's chest. Luo Chen was speechless. "This car belongs to a female ghost, that's why I'm wearing this. You know Maotian Taoist priests, right? Yellow Taoist robes used to ward off evil." The 2 young women clearly didn't believe it, their eyes practically watered. "We can be ghosts too, want to try?" Luo Chen immediately locked the car. "Damn it, nobody believes the truth these days. Actually, I'm a kept man, understand?" The 2 young ladies then realized what was happening. One of them frowned, his voice turning cold. "No wonder they can afford a Vantage worth over 2 million, shameless." The other one, however, still wanted to give it a try. "Hey bro, I don't mind being a kept man." Luo Chen stopped talking and quickly left, heading towards the side gate of Binhai University. Only then did the chill that had been lingering on his chest dissipate. "Hey you, delivery guys aren't allowed in. University security stopped Luo Chen. Luo Chen sneered inwardly and yelled at the security guard, "I'm a college student working part-time. I'm from XX college, XX major, XX class. Is it shameful to work part-time delivering food? I can't get scholarships or grants and I'm not eligible for work-study programs. Tell me, is this fair?" The security personnel at Binhai University, who are officially employed, were stunned upon hearing this. Moreover, more and more students gathered around to watch, and some had already taken out their phones to record videos. The security guard was furious. "What you're saying is useless. Let me see your student ID." Luo Chen, unfazed, approached the security guard and growled, "You're investigating so thoroughly, why haven't you caught the murderer who killed Liu Ru from our class?" Security was now truly panicked. The leadership had strictly forbidden discussing this topic. "Don't get so worked up, classmate. The relevant departments are investigating closely. Let's not discuss this matter. It wouldn't be good if we alerted them, wouldn't it?" Luo Chen glared at him fiercely. "Everyone in my dorm said that if there aren't results before the new year, we're determined to get justice. Don't threaten me with your graduation certificate." Then, he walked into the school gate openly and honestly. The security guard broke out in a cold sweat, and after a while he yelled, "You know, a pretty girl like you, with so many people liking you, why would you do something like that?" Arriving at the garden path not far from the girls' dormitory, Nai Xiaodi's voice was filled with undisguised admiration. "I almost believed you were a college student here. How did you do that?" Luo Chen shrugged, letting out a somewhat weary sigh. "It's nothing, just delivered so much takeout, I know everything." Luo Chen sat on a bench in the pavilion, watching the vibrant female college students coming and going. Despite the cold weather, many beautiful, freezing girls still showed off their long legs. This time, Nai Xiaodi didn't exude coldness. Instead, she enthusiastically discussed women's fashion with Luo Chen. "This girl has a great figure, she looks good in everything. Xiaodi, look at that pretty girl, she's so carefree, not wearing pants in this freezing weather. She'll regret it later, you know how bad your legs are, and besides, she was wearing flesh-colored stockings. How did you know? Oh, by the way, do you have any stockings?" "I don't think I saw any in the closet." "Yes, black stockings, white stockings, lace stockings, want to see?" "Want to? Grandma, could you please stop using the cooling system? I'm having this illusion that I'm shirtless." "Wow. Look, that girl in the sweater has such big breasts. They're comparable to yours." "I'll freeze you to death, you little brat. Looking is illegal." I was wrong. Time flew by and it was 10:30 p.m. And the dormitory lights were all turned off. Luo Chen watched the graceful figure disappear with reluctance, then asked in confusion, "Xiao Dai, didn't you say the dungeon would open at 9? It's past the time limit." "What I'm saying is, the Ghost Realm instance could open at any time after 9 p.m. It could be anywhere from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. the next morning." Luo Chen couldn't sit still any longer. "No, we can't just wait here. It'll be a problem if the school's patrolling counselors catch us." I should have brought the gaming helmet. What a waste of today's weapon upgrade opportunity." "No, today's luck is very important." Luo Chen blinked. "Equipment drops in the Ghost Realm too." Before Nai Xiaodi could respond, 3 people who were clearly not students suddenly appeared at the entrance of the garden path. Luo Chen was taken aback, immediately stood up and prepared to leave. "Isn't he a teacher?" But Nai Xiaodi's voice rang out, her tone tinged with seriousness. "The Celestial Masters sect, don't speak to me first, later, they have some tricks up their sleeves." Luo Chen's expression turned solemn, yet a strange joy welled up within him. Even Nai Xiaodi would worry. So he decisively went up to them. "What are you 3 doing here?" The person opposite clearly paused, and the young man in the lead, wearing casual clothes and carrying a crossbody bag, hesitated before asking, "Who are you?" "The student council." Luo Chen declared matter-of-factly, "Don't let my delivery guy appearance fool you. This is just a cover. We're specifically here to check on you guys who stay out all night." Behind the young man were a woman wearing a mask and a middle-aged man with shifty eyes. Faced with Luo Chen's questioning, the middle-aged man stepped forward and rebuked him. "Which department in the student union are you from? Who is your advisor? Did you get approval from the school?" Wow. Luo Chen immediately sensed something was wrong. This guy looks a bit like someone from school. Hello teacher, I'm an officer from the External Relations Department. Are you on patrol too?" Luo Chen decided to play it safe. Sure enough, the middle-aged man frowned. "What's the External Relations Department up to? Didn't they receive the notice? There's a major school inspection today, get back right now." Luo Chen breathed a sigh of relief and quickly said, "Teacher, I'm also in the martial arts club and I'm really good at it. Want to join us? Just give me a few extra credits." The middle-aged man was about to say something when the young man interrupted him with a gesture of respect. His face was clearly grave. "Fellow Taoist, let's not beat around the bush. I suppose you were also invited to suppress this ghost realm. May I ask your master? What the hell? How did you recognize me? But figuring out where to find a teacher stumped Luo Chen. After thinking for a long time, he hesitantly asked, could I make one up? The young man paused, then chuckled, inconvenient to say. That's all right as long as it's not. That's fine. I observe that your forehead is full and your divine light is restrained. You should indeed be a righteous person, but why do you have a somewhat troublesome appearance? Luo Chen raised an eyebrow, a love tribulation. Isn't it supposed to be a love fortune? Is it because I'm handsome? At this point, the school teacher stopped interrupting and stood aside, thinking, these are all capable people invited by the school's higher-ups. It's best not to ask too many questions. Fellow Taoist, I have some talismans here that can break free from romantic entanglements. Would you like them? Luo Chen's eyes widened, his tone unfriendly. Fellow Taoist, that's not fair. Better to tear down 3 temples than to break free from a peach blossom calamity. Didn't the masters of the Celestial Masters sect tell you that? The young man visibly relaxed upon hearing this. The other person could mention their lineage, so it seemed they were also in the industry. But shouldn't the saying be, it's better to tear down 10 temples than to break up one marriage? Luo Chen frowned and continued, this humble monk. Well, I have my own way of dealing with the peach blossom tribulation. You don't need to worry about it. Do your Celestial Masters sect have any talismans or trump cards for suppressing ghosts, especially female ghosts? Just give me a few bundles. The young man's eyes lit up. Yes, plenty. Not only do we have protective spells, exorcism spells, and spiritual light spells, but also exquisite replicas of Zhang Kui images and Bagua diagrams. How many do you want, fellow Taoist? The woman behind him wearing a mask seemed hesitant to speak, as if she couldn't bear to watch any longer. So many? Give me a set of them all, Luo Chen exclaimed in delight. All right, fellow Taoist has excellent taste. The Tao is priceless, so I'll just charge you 8,800 for these items, a truly friendly price. After saying that, he took out his payment QR code, WeChat Pay, credit card payment, and unified payment code. Luo Chen was stunned. Holy crap, you want money back. The young Taoist priest was somewhat incredulous. No wealth, companion, method, land. Without money, what kind of demon can you subdue? What kind of ghost can you catch? Luo Chen immediately became furious. Who are you saying I'm broke? I have tens of millions in my account, okay. Then he silently added in his mind, yeah, tens of millions of gold coins. The young Taoist priest asked hesitantly, so are you going to buy it or not? Luo Chen, now in a difficult position, immediately pulled out his phone, scanned the 8848 yuan and said generously, the rest is a tip. The young Taoist priest immediately beamed with joy and quickly took out an exquisite yellow paper package from his backpack. On the simple paper label on it were 4 characters written in calligraphy, exorcism kit. Luo Chen took the yellow paper package with some confusion. Is your backpack full of these things? Why were they pre-packed? The young Taoist priest smiled confidently. Absolutely reliable. Produced by the Celestial Masters sect, it's guaranteed to work. The woman behind him finally couldn't stand it any longer and stepped forward. Fellow Taoist, the things you're carrying were all copied by my senior brother himself. They're unreliable, don't let them harm you. Before the young Taoist could even get angry, Luo Chen was pleasantly surprised. It's not a fake. Do you have any more, fellow Taoist? 2 more sets, please. The woman was utterly speechless, had I not expressed myself clearly enough. The young Taoist priest was overjoyed. Fellow Taoist, you have excellent taste. By the way, I also have a Celestial Masters Tao artifact here. I'm sure you've heard of it, haven't you? Since you have tens of millions in your account, you can definitely afford it. You're destined to own such artifacts. After saying that, he actually took out a wooden sword from his backpack. Luo Chen was shocked. How did he manage to fake it? The young Taoist priest showed a hint of reluctance. This magical artifact was a reward from the Celestial Masters sect to its most outstanding new generation disciples, a true divine revelation item. Fellow Taoist, you can handle it and experience it for yourself. It will absolutely amaze you. But after receiving the wooden sword, Luo Chen immediately realized, damn it, isn't this the special equipment of the Apocalypse New Century, a wooden sword? I also have a short sword. If wooden swords are precious magical artifacts of the Celestial Masters sect, then wouldn't my own short sword be a divine weapon? How much? Luo Chen asked curiously. The young Taoist priest looked reluctant but gritted his teeth and said, this is an offensive magical artifact, a priceless treasure. Since you like it then, 800. Luo Chen was somewhat surprised, so cheap. He took out his phone again and scanned the QR code for 888 credits. Same as always, any extra is a tip. The young Taoist priest was completely dumbfounded. Are you kidding me? The young Taoist priest tried to snatch back the wooden sword, but Luo Chen easily dodged it. Luo Chen sneered. You've already paid, are you trying to renege? The young Taoist priest, unable to contain himself any longer, shouted, why don't you just rob it? 8 million worth of magical artifacts and you think you can take them for 800? Are you some kind of Spartan warrior? Luo Chen was instantly stunned. Holy crap, 800, that's 8 million, did I hear a jarring sound? But he couldn't let the other party see his ignorance, so he gave a cold smile. A broken wooden sword, you dare sell it to me for 8 million? Who started this joke? Is this how the masters of the Celestial Masters sect teach you? The young Taoist priest was immediately taken aback, speechless with astonishment. After a while he said awkwardly, well, gold and silver have a price, but magical artifacts are priceless. Just then, another group of people arrived from a distance, and their numbers were even greater. A handsome man, clearly possessing the air of an emperor dressed in a British suit, was surrounded by 3 curvaceous beauties in silk robes. Behind him followed 2 fully armed deputies carrying huge toolboxes, and 3 somewhat obsequious men in tight-fitting clothes as they swaggered in front of the crowd. 2 middle-aged men wearing glasses followed at a distance, seemingly unwilling to get too close. The teacher on this side, however, had sharp eyes. She immediately jogged over to the 2 middle-aged men wearing glasses and with utmost trepidation asked, hello, Principal Zhang. Hello, Director Wang. What brings you two here? Principal Zhang frowned slightly and Director Wang beside him immediately reprimanded in a low voice. Director Li, what was said in the meeting? You were told to take the Taoist masters directly to Building 1. Why are you still here? Director Li immediately broke out in a cold sweat. Master Fayan and his group have run into a highly skilled food delivery person and are currently having an in-depth conversation. This way. The arrogant man in the suit was looking at the young Taoist priest with disdain and sneered. Floating cloud, are you peddling your garbage again, or are you trying to scam a deliveryman? Speaking of which, what's going on at Binhai University? How did they manage to let a deliveryman in? The young Taoist priest, also known as Master Fayan, disregarded his wooden sword and angrily shouted at the arrogant man in the suit. Are you people from the Blazing Flame sect still so arrogant? Do you look down on our Celestial Masters sect? The arrogant guy in the suit with his nostrils flared continued to scoff. You Fayan think you can represent the Celestial Masters sect? I'm not saying this lightly, but the Celestial Masters sect standards for accepting disciples are getting more and more lax these days. They'll take anyone. Oh, Beauty Yunxi is here too. Why are you wearing a mask? Do you feel ashamed following this good-for-nothing senior brother? Master Fayan was furious and was about to unleash a torrent of curses. The woman who had been standing behind Taoist Fayan pulled him back, then removed her mask, revealing a stunningly beautiful face covered in frost. Wang Lei, that's enough. Seeing your ugly face makes me want to vomit. The slick-looking guy in the suit gave a wicked smile. Spare the rod and spoil the child, Yunxi, feel free to scold me. Junior nephew Yunxi, are you going to bite a dog if you're arguing with it? Luo Chen couldn't stand it anymore. He rubbed his nose and casually brandished his wooden sword. The best way to deal with a dog is with a stick. Here, take one. Yunxi was astonished to find that the deliveryman, whom her senior brother had been trying to fool, not only spoke up for her, but also offered to give her her senior brother's precious magic weapon. Also, why does he call himself his junior apprentice? Wang Lei of the Blazing Flame sect finally changed his expression, looking at Luo Chen with some surprise and doubt. The Celestial Master sect's yellow-grade magic weapon Millennium Peach Wood Sword. How did it end up in your hands? Seeing Yunxi looking a bit dazed, Luo Chen shoved the wooden sword into her hand without a word, then calmly replied, bought for 888, believe it or not. Wang Lei frowned, somewhat unsure of the deliveryman's background. May I ask your teacher and your Buddhist name? Luo Chen was taken aback, but his face showed displeasure. What, you think you can ask my name with this attitude? Wang Lei's expression immediately turned serious. He clasped his hands in a respectful Taoist salute. May I ask about your lineage? Everyone present looked at Luo Chen with anticipation. Now it was Luo Chen's turn to be completely bewildered. Oh no, was there a reason behind Wang Lei's question? Did he have to answer? That seems a bit too much of a show-off. But now they're in a bind. You can't let yourself be proven wrong by the boasts you made. Luo Chen had a flash of inspiration. I've got it. I am Luo Ju, a wanderer of the Four Seas. According to seniority, I am the senior uncle of Fayan and Yunxi. Of course, you can also call me Uncle Ju. Luo Chen said calmly without blushing or skipping a beat. Hee. When you're out in the world, your identity is entirely up to you. Luo Chen was satisfied with his own adaptability. Perfect. These words shocked everyone. Yunxi pondered. No wonder the deliveryman called me junior nephew earlier. He even returned my senior brother's magic weapon to me. Yunxi's voice was sweet and clear. Greetings, martial uncle. Fu Yun suddenly realized no wonder he couldn't see through his strength. It was Luo Jiu, Uncle Jiu. He used his junior sister's hand to return the wooden sword to him. Uncle Jiu is so generous. Fayun's voice sounded somewhat apologetic. Hello, Uncle Jiu, I've taken your words and actions to heart. Wang Lei frowned deeply. Luo Jiu, could he be a wandering master from Luoshendu in the Central Plains province? Moreover, it's obvious that he knows these two senior brothers and sisters from the Celestial Masters sect. Wang Lei's voice carried a hint of apprehension. I am Wang Lei, the chief disciple of Master Awakening Lion of the Blazing Flame sect. I greet Uncle Nine. The three beautiful women in silk robes beside them also tried their best to show off their curvaceous figures. The three Liu sisters from Binhai greet Master Luo. The three men in tight-fitting clothes looked at him with awe. We are exorcists from the coastal branch of the Canal Gang. Greetings to Master Luo. What the hell? Luo Chen felt a surge of elation. What a wonderful feeling, I got tricked. Okay, from now on my identity is Uncle Nine. But damn it, don't give it away. Just as Luo Chen was about to intensify this comfortable feeling, he suddenly noticed that the surrounding space darkened abruptly, and then a faint white mist began to rise from the garden. Even the streetlights have become dim and lifeless. Yunxi was the first to react, her voice tinged with panic, a sign of the ghost realm descending. Wang Lei, standing nearby, offered a different perspective. Hey, the Cow Gang, the Binhai University Apocalypse Dungeon Ghost Realm has opened. It'll be completely locked down in 5 minutes. Quickly get Principal Zhang and the others to the safe zone. Luo Chen was taken aback. Isn't Wang Lei a bad guy? The three men from the Canal Gang, dressed in tight-fitting clothes, immediately followed Wang Lei's instructions and left with Principal Zhang, Director Wang, and Director Li. The Ghost Realm instance is an independent space. As long as you are not infected when it fully descends, you will generally not be pulled into the Ghost Realm. But everyone present who was preparing to suppress the Demon Realm waited quietly. 3 minutes later, the three exorcists from the Cow Gang returned. The surrounding fog grew thicker and thicker. Luo Chen was somewhat curious. The white mist seemed to be distributed very unevenly. Moreover, his gaze seemed to be able to penetrate the mist. Just then, Wang Lei gathered everyone together to discuss the plan for suppressing the Ghost Realm instance. Wang Lei and Taoist Faiyan both wanted to nominate Luo Chen as the temporary leader. Luo Chen naturally refused. What, Uncle Jiu, if I weren't here today, you couldn't eliminate the Ghost Realm. Don't be hothouse flowers. Everyone was embarrassed. Next, Wang Lei readily volunteered to be the team leader for this raid instance. Taoist Faiyan and Taoist Yunxi did not object, and the three Liu sisters and the exorcists of the Cow Gang followed his lead without question. A smug glint appeared in Wang Lei's eyes as he began to arrange the tasks. Once the Ghost Realm has fully descended, the white mist will quickly dissipate. Then you will find that everything here is exactly the same as the Binhai University campus, the only difference being that you will not encounter a single living person. According to intelligence, when this Ghost Realm was first formed, a female student from our school was inexplicably pulled into it and later jumped to her death. Therefore, it's highly likely that there are vengeful ghosts within the Ghost Realm. Our objective is to quickly locate and destroy the core of the Ghost Realm. As for the ghosts themselves, avoid them if possible. The crowd agreed. Luo Chen nodded inwardly. This Wang Lei is actually quite capable. Just then, the surrounding white mist quickly dissipated, revealing the original appearance of the campus. But everyone knew that this place was already a ghost town. Most of the buildings within the Ghost Realm are fake, sealed off, and inaccessible. I'll search all the teaching buildings, the three Liu sisters will search the library, Faiyan and Yunxi will search the 3 restaurants, the Cow Gang will search the boys' dormitory, and Uncle Jiu, could you please take charge of the girls' dormitory? How about that? No one had any questions. A dozen minutes later, Wang Lei, accompanied by 2 of his men, arrived at the highest point of Binhai University, the rooftop of teaching building number 1. One of his men opened a huge toolbox and quickly assembled a specially made sniper rifle. Only then did Wang Lei's lips curl into a sinister smile. Wang Lei assigned Luo Chen to be in charge of the girls' dormitory building not because it was a good job, but rather because the girls' dormitory building was the most dangerous. Because someone just died here. Whether it's the Celestial Masters sect, the Blazing Flame sect, or even the exorcists of the Canal Gang, they all know that before the arrival of the Ghost Realm, those who die in the place of arrival will all become strange and evil spirits, which are very troublesome. Therefore, when everyone saw Luo Chen agree to search the girls' dormitory area without any pressure, they were all inwardly impressed. As expected of senior Uncle Jiu, he remained calm even when in charge of the most dangerous area. After everyone dispersed, Luo Chen walked towards the girl's dormitory, boasting to Nizayodi, "How about it, girl? I've successfully established my persona. Be nice to me from now on." Nizayodi's voice finally rang out softly. "Yes." Uncle Jiu is so domineering, daring to buy talismans to suppress the female ghost right in front of her. Luo Chen suddenly realized, "Oh no, I forgot that Nizayodi could see it too." Nizayodi didn't pursue the matter further but instead continued, "Regarding this instance, Wang Lei's explanation is actually more accurate. The ghost realm is indeed a spatial fragment of Apocalypse, essentially more like a game. Moreover, besides the ghosts and evil spirits of the ghost realm itself, there's a high probability that the monsters within will also be from the game." Luo Chen was somewhat surprised. For example, Nizayodi could only offer an example. "Isn't it possible that there are stray cats or something on campus? The apocalyptic power in the dungeon can transform them into monsters like hooked cats or rake cats." Luo Chen laughed nonchalantly, dismissing it with a sneer. "A newbie monster, what's there to be afraid of?" Nizayodi chuckled coldly. "What if you're a level 1 newbie and don't even have cloth armor or a wooden sword?" Luo Chen exclaimed in astonishment, "Holy crap." But then he exclaimed confidently, "I have the Apocalypse-equipped short sword plus a gold necklace, iron bracelets, and bronze rings. Dealing with them will be a piece of cake." Nizayodi was speechless. After a moment she continued, "Since this instance is closely related to the Apocalypse game, your luck should have a special effect. Now go with your gut feeling and choose the place you most want to go." Upon hearing this, Luo Chen immediately headed towards the women's restroom on the first floor of the girls' dormitory building. "Women's restroom?" Nizayodi was shocked. "Luo Chen, is this the place you most want to go? Are you a psychopath?" Luo Chen was displeased. He frowned and said, "My intuition tells me there's something strange about the women's restroom, and it's definitely not out of curiosity." Nizayodi's voice was clearly filled with anger. "This is the Ghost Realm instance, not the Nurgle instance. How could the Ghost Realm core be in the women's restroom?" Luo Chen rubbed his nose somewhat helplessly. "All right then, by the way, what is grudge?" Nizayodi seemed unwilling to answer the question and began urging, "Hurry up and search the dormitory building. I can sense that the Juon organization should be here soon." Luo Chen raised an eyebrow. "The group of people who drove you to suicide?" Nizayodi's voice held a hint of apprehension. "Yes, they are a group of lawless demons and evil spirits. Their methods are incredibly insidious. You must be careful." Luo Chen nodded but inwardly thought, "No, you're a female ghost calling others evil ghosts." Nizayodi pondered for a moment, then continued, "By the way, I'll use the game data from Apocalypse as a reference to explain the danger level of this dungeon to help you understand. Don't be careless." Luo Chen loved to hear this, so he pricked up his ears. Nizayodi organized her prophecy and began to explain it in detail. In reality, a healthy adult male, depending on his physical condition, has a life value of approximately 510. A dagger deals 2-5 damage, so if a vital point is attacked, it usually takes 2 hits to kill a human. Your short sword has an attack power of 311. If it hits a vital point, it can kill a human with a single strike. Luo Chen nodded. "That's easy to understand." Nizayodi continued, "In the Ghost Realm dungeon, the weakest evil spirit is the Grey Ghost, with 10-20 points of health and about 2-5 points of attack power. It can kill an ordinary human in 2 to 4 attacks. White ghosts have 30-40 health points and around 7-10 attack points. Be careful when you encounter one. There's also a red ghost, a vengeful spirit. Specific details are unclear, but it's highly likely to be the core of the Ghost Realm, and it's certainly hidden in the most unexpected place. The special soul crystal we're looking for should be on it. As for the number of other monsters such as the hooked cat and the rake cat, it depends on how many stray cats are in the university. Their health and attack power are the same as in the Apocalypse game. The hooked cat has 20 health, the rake cat has 22 health, and their attack power is 2-4. Scarecrows are primarily found in the farm instance. They are highly unlikely to be present on the campus. Oh, and if someone died at the school before, the difficulty of the dungeon will skyrocket. There might even be zombies and skeletons, which would be a huge problem." After listening to Nizayodi's explanation, Luo Chen asked curiously, "So what level is my health?" Nizayodi hesitated for a moment. "I don't know, I can't see your strength right now. But you've absorbed a lot of fate crystals related to physique, spirit, and strength, and you're also empowered by apocalyptic equipment like the short sword, bronze ring, iron bracelet, and gold necklace. If you use it well, no monster can't be defeated." Luo Chen immediately became excited. "I knew it, the advantage is with me. By the way, should we materialize the apocalypse equipment? Weapons are a must. Jewelry doesn't matter. Just put them in your Apocalypse Space inventory to take effect. By the way, after the game servers merge, you'll be able to unlock a second equipment slot in Apocalypse New Century, fully unleashing the power of these Apocalypse-exclusive items. Upon hearing this, Luo Chen almost couldn't help but drool. What? You mean I'll be able to equip both the Infernal Blade and the short sword in the game? Holy crap. Nice Zyodi gave an affirmative answer. On the other side, the three exorcists from the Canal Gang, one wielding an alloy longsword smeared with black dog blood, one carrying exorcism tools, and one holding a talisman, carefully searched the boys' dormitory building. Most of the dormitories were enclosed spaces, so a quick scan was sufficient. Moreover, they didn't encounter any ghosts or other evil spirits, making the search very fast. But in a pile of junk on the 5th floor, they unexpectedly encountered a bipedal monster, the size of a calf, muscular all over, wielding a double-hooked weapon. Multi-hook cat. The three men looked grave, and the exorcist wielding the alloy longsword took the initiative to attack. This exorcist was clearly skilled in martial arts. Every move he made was ruthless, aimed at the vital points of the multi-hooked cat. Although the modern-made melee weapons were incredibly sharp, this apocalyptic monster was thick-skinned and tough, and it took the three of them a great deal of effort to kill it. Before the group could catch their breath, a rake-wielding cat suddenly appeared behind them, brandishing a huge rake and slashing fiercely at the exorcist who was holding talismans in his hands. These beginner monsters are far more terrifying in the real world than they are in the game. It was the exorcist wielding the longsword who reacted quickly, pulling his companion away and preventing him from being split open. An inch longer, an inch stronger. The rake cat is clearly more difficult to deal with than the multi-hook cat. Moreover, the rake in the monster's hand was powerful and heavy, almost overwhelming the three of them. Moments later, two exorcists without long weapons, who were primarily tasked with fighting ghosts, were wounded one after another. A person holding exorcism tools was hit on the shoulder by a rake, causing their entire right arm to dangle. The other person, who was holding the talisman, was slashed in the waist by the sharp teeth of a rake, and several wounds bled profusely. Seeing the unfavorable situation, the leader, wielding a longsword, risked being injured in the left arm by the rake, and pierced the rake cat's heart with his sword. He then quickly thrust and pulled it out twice more before barely managing to kill the monster before him. After catching their breath, all three were still somewhat shaken. After bandaging, the fear lingers from his injured shoulder. Didn't young Master Wang Lei say this was just a low-level dungeon? How could there be an apocalypse monster projection? The panic from the waist injury. I never imagined these monsters were so terrifying. It's hateful that our game strategy team from the Canal Gang hasn't obtained a single piece of apocalypse equipment yet. The exorcist, wielding a long sword, hesitated for a long time before finally revealing a resolute look in his eyes. These 3 million from Binhai University won't be easy to get. But the contract is already signed. We absolutely can't ruin their reputation. Besides, we still have Wang Lei and Uncle Jiu, don't be afraid. His two companions hesitated for a moment before nervously nodding and continuing their search, but no one noticed that a blue ghost had silently appeared behind them. Library. The three Liu sisters with their shapely figures were checking the second floor of the library, looking somewhat nervous. Although they don't have many special skills, they do have some talent. At the very least, she's not just a pretty face. The eldest sister gripped a black chain tightly, the second sister held a white ribbon, and the youngest sister carried an antique scroll. The Liu family is considered a well-known lineage of sorceresses in the coastal area. By the time of the three sisters, they began to keep up with the times, become more proactive, and try to integrate into a higher-level circle of spiritual practitioners. However, upward social mobility is easier said than done. Therefore, left with no other choice, they gritted their teeth and sacrificed their sexuality to cling to the Flame Gate's coattails. The exorcism contract with Binhai University was also obtained through Wang Lei's introduction, and the three sisters know best the hardships involved. However, they were quite skilled at exorcising ghosts. Their seamless teamwork on the first floor of the library, where they jointly eliminated 3 gray ghosts, greatly boosted their confidence. Just then, a blue ghost silently appeared in the blind spot of the three and attempted to attack the second sister who was walking at the back. Just as it was about to succeed, a black chain suddenly lashed out with lightning speed, striking the blue ghost and causing its soul to tremble violently. Before it could react, a white ribbon bound it tightly, and wisps of smoke rose from it. Immediately afterwards, the ancient scroll in the third sister's hand unfurled, revealing the image of Zhang Kui. Zhang Kui is a popular deity in Taoism, specializing in fighting ghosts and exorcising evil spirits. The blue ghost was fixed between the three of them, letting out an extremely sharp howl. Meanwhile, the eldest sister lashed the blue ghost with her black chains, her expression grave, even showing disbelief. A blue ghost? How could such a thing exist? I've heard they're evil spirits raised by heretics. The second sister panicked, quick. It's about to break free of my ribbon. Upon hearing this, the third sister bit her right index finger and drew a strange blood symbol on the scroll while muttering incantations. A moment later, a beam of divine light shot out from the scroll, striking the blue ghost directly and then began to pull it back into the scroll. The blue ghost emitted a mournful howl, seemingly sending a message somewhere. It was careless. Unexpectedly, the three Liu sisters really do have some tricks up their sleeves. Just as the blue ghost got closer and closer to the painting, the eldest sister was suddenly terrified. She shouted, "Be careful," and pushed her third sister away. An armor-piercing bullet shattered the glass curtain wall of the library, easily piercing the woman's slender waist and tearing her body in two. The third sister, who had been pushed aside, was stunned by the sight of her eldest sister's miserable state. The second sister, holding the white ribbon, let out a heart-wrenching cry of despair. Ignoring the blue ghost that was about to break free, she stepped forward and grabbed the eldest sister's upper body. The eldest sister, severed in two at the waist, was still breathing. Blood mixed with bubbles gushed from her mouth. With her last breath, she managed to utter her final words, broken and fragmented. "Run. We've been tricked by Wang Lei. He wants to use us as livestock." The second sister was devastated when she saw her eldest sister die in her arms. Just then, my second sister's beautiful head burst open like a half-ripe watermelon, leaving only her neck, as thick as a bowl, spurting blood. The blue ghost finally broke free of its restraints and pounced on the two fresh, mangled bodies on the ground. The third sister, holding the scroll, finally came back to life and let out a heart-wrenching scream. Then she displayed unimaginable decisiveness and action, gripping the painting in her hand and immediately running downstairs. A bullet struck the very spot where she had just been standing. The third sister of the Liu family displayed amazing agility, her direction of movement unpredictable, dodging bullets that whistled through the air once again. A few dozen seconds later, her figure disappeared on the first floor of the library. Ziyuan Restaurant. Fion and Yunxi are searching the restaurant's kitchen. Just now, the two of them work together to kill a white ghost and several gray ghosts. "Senior brother, something's not right," Yunxi said to Fion, frowning. Master Fion nodded, his expression calm as he gripped his wooden sword. "This ghost realm clearly differs from the information we have. It doesn't seem like a beginner-level dungeon." Suddenly, Yunxi listened intently. Master Fion immediately stopped and stood guard beside his junior sister. He knew that his junior sister had a special talent. She could hear unusual sounds. Even in a dungeon like the Ghost Realm, where all communication is disabled, the junior sister can still detect unusual sounds. A moment later, Yunxi looked puzzled. "I think I heard the echo of human death." Fu Yun's expression immediately turned serious. "How many?" Yunxi hesitated for a few seconds before saying uncertainly, "5 sounds." Fu Yun gasped in shock. In this ghostly dungeon, there were only 12 people in total. Before Yunxi could say anything more, Master Fion's expression suddenly changed drastically, and he swung his wooden sword to the side with all his might. Yunxi followed the direction of her senior brother's attack and was immediately horrified. "Zombie, it's still a crawling zombie." After the initial panic subsided, Yunxi looked at her senior brother fighting the zombie with a resolute expression and solemnly took out a worn blood talisman from her bosom. The Celestial Masters sect invoked the Thunder Technique, teaching building. The highest point on the rooftop. Wang Lei, dressed in a suit, frowned at a withered old woman not far from him, his tone displeased. "You undying curse cult, is this all you've got for raising souls and exorcising ghosts? 2 of the Liu sisters were shot dead by my men and you let the last one escape." The withered old woman cackled. "Wraiths aren't as clever as young Master Wang. They only rely on instinct, devouring fresh soul power. Only by becoming a red wraith can they obey commands." Then her tone changed, becoming sinister as she said, "Boy, those who lack reverence for the undying curse never have a good end." Wang Lei frowned even more deeply, but did not continue to make sarcastic remarks. The withered old woman nodded in satisfaction. A blue ghost appeared out of nowhere, hovering around the old woman, seemingly quite attached to her. Wang Lei's face suddenly turned, filled with shock and rage. "What did you do to my men?" The old woman casually stroked the slightly reddened blue ghost, saying indifferently, "Just a small warning. Besides, it's just a subordinate, nothing to worry about." Wang Lei watched as one of his fully armed subordinates, now emaciated and shriveled, collapsed to the ground like a straw. Meanwhile, the other subordinate, kneeling and prone at the sniper position, was trembling uncontrollably, his hands bulging with veins as he gripped the sniper rifle tightly. Wang Lei suddenly smiled, patted the sniper on the shoulder, and chuckled. The undying curse truly lives up to its name. Then he pointed at the sniper. This one's still very useful, don't move him. Girls' dormitory building. Luo Chen curiously surveyed the dormitory room before him, which he had finally managed to enter without any trouble. He clicked his tongue in disapproval. The girls aren't as idyllic as I imagined. Look at this mess, it's practically a spider's cave. Nai Xiaodi replied irritably, can you be serious for once? This is the apocalypse instance, it's very dangerous, okay? No sooner had she finished speaking than a gray ghost appeared in the corner of Luo Chen's eye, rushing towards him rapidly. Luo Chen instinctively raised his knife and brought it down, then exclaimed in surprise, that was dangerous. Seeing the gray ghost instantly killed by Luo Chen with a single casual strike, Nai Xiaodi was stunned for a moment before feeling somewhat embarrassed. Am I right? Luo Chen casually slashed a few times in the direction the gray ghost had dispersed, somewhat incredulously. That's it? Nai Xiaodi said calmly, the lowest level gray ghosts are nothing, even a beginner cultivator can handle them. The white ones are more troublesome and the red ones are especially terrifying. Just then, Luo Chen suddenly drew his sword, striking from an open space. A streak of light, a chilling, piercing sword gleam vanished in an instant. Then, just as a white ghost appeared in front of the dormitory door, it was struck by the sword's edge, slowly cracking open and dissipating. Instant kill. Luo Chen scratched his head, surprised again. That's it. White isn't anything special, is it? Nai Xiaodi was truly stunned this time, somewhat incoherent. No, how could you use assassination techniques? Even if it's assassination swordsmanship, how could you possibly kill someone instantly? Upon hearing this, Luo Chen was somewhat puzzled. Didn't you say this is the apocalypse instance? Isn't assassination a basic skill for warriors? Then his eyes lit up. Could it be because I'm a martial arts prodigy? Nai Xiaodi nearly choked. There's no such thing as a shortcut in martial arts and cultivation. You must understand, even a simple sword aura attacking from outside the body requires at least the level of a true person at the earth rank to be a cultivator. Even the profound rank can't do it. Even the master of the floating cloud Taoist could only barely imbue his weapon with sword energy. Luo Chen twirled his short sword, smugly saying, do you know what a 1 in a million martial arts prodigy is? Clearly, I am. Nai Xiaodi became withdrawn and isolated. Seeing that she didn't answer, Luo Chen continued to gloat. Anyway, no matter what, I'm pretty awesome, right? Nai Xiaodi was silent for a moment before saying softly, it's more than just impressive. Her lucky talent is ridiculously powerful in reality. Luo Chen raised an eyebrow. You're scared. Then he suddenly became excited. Haha, then you'd better be polite to me from now on. Don't forget your place. Nai Xiaodi fell silent again. Luo Chen was now brimming with confidence. Go back and wash my clothes. Mop the floor clean. Oh, and make the bed properly and warm the blankets. Can you cook? Nai Xiaodi, unable to bear it any longer, took a deep breath of yang energy. Get to work right now, you bastards of Shu Road Mountain. Luo Chen's teeth chattered instantly from the cold. Damn it, you crazy woman, you resort to underhanded tactics when you can't win a fight. Another wave of intense cold swept over him and Luo Chen finally confessed, I was wrong, a few minutes later. Luo Chen cautiously approached the door of another girl's dormitory and whispered, you said Liu Ru has a high probability of turning into a red ghost, and that she'll fight me to the death if she sees me. Is it really that exaggerated? Nai Xiaodi's tone turned serious. This ghost realm instance really started because of you. This instance was supposed to appear in 404, a website error, and I had made thorough preparations beforehand. But Liu Ru somehow obtained some strange items from the curse of the path, probably intending to curse you. Not only did she accidentally kill herself, but she also changed the location where the ghost realm would descend. Luo Chen suddenly remembered and said angrily, is this what you said before? Putting aside reason, Liu Ru was indeed killed by me. Nai Xiaodi gave an affirmative answer. Luo Chen roared in fury, is she even reasonable? She tried to curse me, but her plan backfired, and now she's holding a grudge against me, determined to kill me. Nai Xiaodi giggled, that's right. If you had continued to be her lapdog, why would she have thought of cursing you with some strange object? And if she hadn't cursed you, how could she have died? Holy crap, Luo Chen conceded. Okay, I'll apologize if I run into her later. Yes, the way of the sword is also a way, Nai Xiaodi. Luo Chen stopped talking, finished searching the floor and went upstairs. Only one floor remains. Just then, Luo Chen suddenly felt a chill down his back. He turned around abruptly and saw something enormous, like a venomous snake, staring at him through the glass window at the bottom of the stairs behind him. Luo Chen's heart suddenly raced, and he immediately dodged to the side. With a loud crack, a large hole suddenly appeared in the concrete steps of the stairs. Startled, Luo Chen immediately darted out of the stairwell and hid in the middle of the corridor, asking with lingering fear, what happened? Nizioti's voice was heavy with seriousness. Anti-material sniper rifle. Luo Chen tried to calm his racing heart and asked, puzzled, this thing can't kill ghosts, right? Who brought it in? That be ****** Wang Lei. Niziote pondered for a moment before calmly replying, judging from the angle just now, the bullet must have come from the high point of the teaching building, so it's almost certain that the enemy is Wang Lei. A sniper rifle can't kill a ghost, but it can kill you. Luo Chen immediately retorted, I'm wearing bulletproof silk underwear. What's wrong? Are you impotent? Niziote was both amused and annoyed. Idiot, that's an anti-materiel sniper rifle. Even if I can withstand the bullets, you'll be killed by the shockwave. Luo Chen took a deep breath, then sneered, damn it, I thought he was a good guy. I'll go kill him later. Niziote didn't object, but after a moment reminded him, it's not just Wang Lei. The people from the Juan faction haven't shown up yet. They must have very powerful ghosts they're raising. We absolutely cannot let our guard down. Luo Chen was astonished. Keeping ghosts, what's that? Niziote explained. It's a special kind of ghost, mostly created using evil methods forged from the resentful souls of humans. In terms of strength, blue ghosts are similar to red ghosts or even more troublesome. If it's a red ghost, run away immediately upon encountering it. Luo Chen stared blankly at the blue-red ghost that had suddenly appeared before him and stammered, is it like this? Niziote answered yes, but immediately realized what she meant and screamed, idiot, run. Unexpectedly, Luo Chen immediately drew his knife and stepped forward, his face icy cold, saying, run Maya *****. There's a sniper at the stairwell. Anyone who's played Elite Survival knows that you can't afford to be reckless if you don't even have a pistol. The blue ghost suddenly vanished in front of Luo Chen. Luo Chen felt a chill run down his spine. He leaped to the side and, without thinking, unleashed a stabbing attack, aiming for the spot where he had just been standing. The sharp sword light struck the blue ghost accurately, causing its soul to freeze abruptly. Luo Chen's spirits lifted, and he immediately launched a frenzied attack. 3 more assassination attempts pierced the blue ghost's body. The blue ghost let out a high-pitched howl, and then its figure began to blur. Almost instinctively, Luo Chen unleashed a deadly sword strike towards an empty spot at the top of the stairs, a crisp snapping sound. Like breaking an egg, the blue-red ghost became clear again, then began to crack and gradually dissipate. In the distance, a heart-wrenching wail seemed to echo. Luo Chen stood at the corner of the stairs, gripping his short sword tightly, his chest heaving as he gasped for breath. All of this happened in just a few seconds. Only then did Niziote's voice rang out in shock. Luo Chen, you can actually predict the location of ghosts. How did you do that? Luo Chen then realized, who am I, where am I? What did I do, however, in front of his woman, his female ghost, his masculinity must be fully displayed. Just a ghost, a piece of cake, nothing special. Niziote, she suspected Luo Chen was alluding to her, but she had no evidence. What you just killed was a ghost at the profound level, close to the earth level of the curse-induced Tao. That's their lifeblood. Be careful not to be cursed to death. Niziote warned seriously. Luo Chen scratched his head, like Liu Ru's actions. Or maybe they're cursing Uncle Nine, so what, could there really be a Luo 9? Niziote was speechless again. That's true, you can't play by the rules when dealing with Luo Chen, after resting for a while. Luo Chen took a deep breath, suddenly darted out of the corridor, and ran towards another stairwell in the dormitory building. The staircase was obscured by the number 2 teaching building, so the sniper couldn't see him. He's going to get revenge. A gentleman takes his revenge even after 10 years. Luo Chen considered himself a petty person. A dozen minutes later, Luo Chen stood at the entrance to the rooftop of Building 1, looking at the injured people in front of him, speechless. Of the 3 Liu sisters, only the youngest remained, holding a folded scroll. A claw mark tore her silk robe from the side, exposing her entire back to the air. In the dead of winter, Luo Chen couldn't help but want to give her cupping therapy. Fian's entire left leg was a bloody mess, his left hand gripping the ground with a wooden sword, looking quite pitiful. But his right hand was tightly gripping a weapon resembling a crossbow, and a solemn expression appeared on his face. Yunxi held a revolver covered in runes, and her clothes had been transformed into beggar's attire, especially her pants, which were practically comparable to the exorbitantly priced trousers of Parisian high-end brands. If it weren't for the black pantyhose underneath, she would probably have died on the spot or be standing on the edge of a rooftop. The 3 of them stood together. Across from him, Wang Lei's suit was now battle-damaged, half of his body almost stained red with blood. Judging from the appearance, he had probably been grazed by a bullet, but it was unclear whether it had hit any vital organs. His two men, one shriveled like a scarecrow lying on the ground, the other, like a tattered sack, was on top of a strange corpse, beneath which lay a sniper rifle. Upon seeing Luo Chen's arrival and the high-grade Xuan-level magic weapon in his hand, everyone's eyes lit up, and they excitedly shouted in unison, "Greetings, Uncle Jiu." Luo Chen shrugged and sighed, "Can someone explain what's going on here?" With Master Fian's explanation, Luo Chen finally understood the situation. The three Liu sisters were ambushed by ghosts and sniped by the enemy, only the youngest sister escaped. The third sister happened to witness Fian and his sister battling a crawling zombie and joined the fight. After a fierce battle, the three dealt with the zombies and headed towards teaching building number 1 together, suspecting that Wang Lei was in trouble. As Yunxi went upstairs, she heard gunshots and explosions coming from the rooftop. When the three of them cautiously reached the rooftop, they discovered that one of Wang Lei's henchmen had been mysteriously drained of his life force, another henchman had killed himself, and a withered old woman with a grenade, and Wang Lei himself had been shot. That's roughly the situation. Luo Chen frowned. Wang Lei has way too many loopholes in this area. However, it seemed that Master Fian and the other two didn't really trust Wang Lei and were all subconsciously on guard. Especially the third sister of the Liu family, whose eyes revealed a deep hatred. Luo Chen glanced at Wang Lei, then went straight forward to examine the two corpses on the sniper rifle. Wang Lei clutched his lower back, expressionless, and made no other movement. Luo Chen looked at the corpse above, which resembled a tattered sack. It was clearly caused by an offensive grenade being placed under the body and then exploding. As for the corpse below, the withered old woman, her body below the chest was blown to pieces, her eyes bulging out and her face showing disbelief, as if she had never expected such an end. Luo Chen carefully examined the hands of the two corpses, then pulled out his sniper rifle, checked it repeatedly, and then forcefully smashed it into a cement pillar. After confirming that the barrel was unusable, Luo Chen threw down the sniper rifle, then suddenly froze. In his field of vision, a red ghost silently appeared on the rooftop. The red ghost, its twisted face fixed on the withered old woman's corpse, suddenly lunged at it. Luo Chen's eyes narrowed as he looked at the crowd. But neither Wang Lei nor the three Taoist Fian seemed to see the red ghost. Luo Chen thought for a moment, then said to Taoist Fian, "You two, come with me to find the core of the ghost realm. Are you coming with that beautiful woman in the backless dress?" Fu Yun and Yun Zai were both taken aback, then looked at the third sister of the Liu family. The third sister of the Liu family made no attempt to hide her hatred. She glanced at Wang Lei and said, "Ninth uncle, I want to tell you." Luo Chen interrupted her directly, heading towards the rooftop staircase first. "If you're going, come with me. If not, stay and take care of Wang Lei." Yunxi immediately helped her senior brother up and followed Luo Chen. Liu's third sister turned pale, hesitated for a moment, and then followed as well. A moment later, only Wang Lei remained on the rooftop. Only then did he reveal a cold smile. "A bunch of lowly cultivators, so what if you've guessed the truth? My blazing flame sect is at its zenith, its influence extending throughout both political and business circles, deeply rooted throughout the entire Federation. How could you possibly shake it?" Then he looked at his assistant, who had been blown into a mangled sack, and the hatred in his heart could no longer be suppressed. His tone was icy cold. "You son of a b*********************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************** You want to be loyal? Fine, I'll grant your wish. You have no family, no ties. I'll send your brother's family to you so you can reunite. After saying that, Wang Lei pressed his hand on the gunshot wound in his waist and walked towards the rooftop exit. He was completely unaware that after absorbing the soul energy of the withered old woman and her subordinate, the red female ghost raised her distorted face and looked at him. Luo Chen led the three of them to the central square of Binhai University. At this moment, the third sister of the Liu family knelt on the ground with a thud, kowtowing several times, tears welling up in her eyes. Senior ninth uncle, I beg you to do justice. My two older sisters were killed by Wang Lei. And those three exorcists from the Grand Canal Gang, they were most likely killed by him as well. The Faiyun siblings also looked at Luo Chen with puzzlement. Luo Chen touched his nose with his left hand. Did you guys see anything strange appear on the rooftop just now? The three of them were taken aback, then shook their heads in unison. Luo Chen understood and directly asked Fu Yun, if you encounter a red ghost, can you protect yourselves? This question caught Master Faiyun off guard. After a moment, he hesitated before saying, if it's purely for self-defense, I have a genuine exorcism set from my sect in my backpack. It should hold out for a while. Luo Chen decisively said, "All right. You guys find a place to hide, I'll go destroy the core of the ghost realm. Also, don't worry about Wang Lei, evil people will be punished by evil spirits." After the three of them hid, Luo Chen finally spoke. "Xiao Dai, did you see that red ghost just now?" Nai Xiaoti's tone was very serious. "I didn't see it, but I sensed it. It's very strong and it seems to have mastered the ability of disguise." "Your decision was right." Luo Chen sighed deeply. "Although its face is twisted into a ghostly shape, I'm certain that the red ghost is Liu Ru." Nai Xiaoti was immediately astonished. "Impossible. If it were her, why wouldn't she attack you? Also, if the Ghost Realm core is on her, wouldn't that mean?" Luo Chen shrugged. "The Ghost Realm core isn't with her. By the way, breaking the core, would that make this instance disappear?" Nai Xiaoti corrected, "It's closed. The instance can't be dispelled. Also, how do you know where the Ghost Realm core is?" Luo Chen chuckled. "Intuition, actually I guessed its location immediately." Nai Xiaoti was surprised. About 10 minutes later, Luo Chen went to the women's restroom on the first floor of the girls' dormitory building again. Nai Xiaoti could hardly believe it. "You're here again." Luo Chen said calmly, "Let's make a bet. If the core of the ghost realm is inside, you'll do all the housework from now on. If it's not, you can absorb as much yang energy as you want." Nai Xiaoti hesitated for a moment but finally gritted her teeth and agreed. "Okay." Luo Chen gripped his short sword tightly and suddenly kicked open the door. From the deepest corner of the bathroom, a chilling chewing sound could be heard. Luo Chen looked back at the wide, U-shaped corridor, calculated the route, and then picked up the mop next to him and threw it inside. The chewing sound suddenly stopped, and then a monster poked its head out from around the corner. Its entire body was dark yellow, its skin like cement, and it had only two incredibly thick forelimbs, each with four sharp claws. Its hindquarters consisted of a short, thick tail that twisted and turned. What was most unsettling were its two large, bulbous eyes, which combined with its ugly face seemed to be giving a creepy, eerie laugh. Luo Chen was immediately astonished because he recognized this monster, Dung Beetle, unique monsters in the Woma Temple within the game. Upon seeing Luo Chen, the Dung Beetle immediately became excited and crawled towards him as fast as a slug. Luo Chen calculated the distance, suddenly unleashed a stabbing attack, and then decisively retreated into the corridor. The monster emitted a sound similar to that of a mudskipper, quickly gave chase and spat out a large amount of yellow liquid from its mouth. Nai Xiaoti was a little nervous. "Be careful, this is a highly petrifying venom. Reality is different from the game, don't get involved." Luo Chen focused intently, dodging the venom while simultaneously unleashing another sword strike. The dung beetle, enraged by the attack, crawled straight toward Luo Chen and sprayed out a large amount of venom. Luo Chen continued to retreat, easily dodging the attack, and then launched an assassination from a distance. A few minutes later, Luo Chen had already circled the first-floor corridor once when the dung beetle let out a strange scream, its belly up dead. Luo Chen, panting heavily, laughed wildly at Nai Xiaoti. "Haha, a bet's a bet, you'll do all the housework from now on." Nai Xiaoti didn't reply but instead seemed lost in thought. How could the core of the ghost realm be a dung beetle? Then, somewhat hesitantly, she asked, "Could you dig it up and see if there's a crystal-like core inside?" Luo Chen frowned, but still gripped his short sword tightly and began to cut into the dung beetle's belly. A moment later, Luo Chen held his breath and picked out a crystal the size of a walnut from the dung beetle's internal organs. Nai Xiaoti was overjoyed. A special soul crystal, then, anxiously urging, "Put it away quickly, the dungeon is about to close." At this moment, Luo Chen noticed that thick white mist had reappeared around him, and the crystal that the short sword had lifted was beginning to blur. Ignoring his nausea, Luo Chen grabbed the crystal. The white mist slowly dissipated. Just then, screams erupted all around Luo Chen, "Pervert." Luo Chen then realized that when he exited the dungeon, he reappeared in the women's restroom. Blood trickled from the corner of Wang Lei's mouth, and his eyes were swollen and red like peaches. He staggered out of the Binhai University campus and onto a narrow path on the other side of the river. He never imagined that he would capsize here. Two of his trusted henchmen were dead, his partner in the Undying Curse was dead, and he himself was possessed by a strange red evil spirit. If it weren't for the Blazing Flame sect's current dominance and its acquisition of a batch of high-level possession talismans from cultivators in the Central Plains, he probably wouldn't have survived until now. Wang Lei shakily pulled out his phone, intending to make a call. He was suddenly struck hard on the back of the head, his vision went black and he collapsed to the ground. Two figures, one tall and one short, appeared beside them. "Brother-in-law, we're thieves now. We haven't even finished smashing all the cars on this side of the road, and now we're being forced back to our old ways as robbers." The short man complained as he put away his hammer. The tall man crouched down, quickly rummaging through the unfortunate man's clothes. After a moment, he pulled off a watch. UB asterisk 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 D, look at this. We've knocked down dozens of cars and it probably isn't worth as much as this watch. The shorter man took the watch, examined it for a long time under the dim streetlights, and then exclaimed in surprise, brother-in-law, this is a designer brand, PPG, a big name. The tall man asked in confusion, PPG, isn't it PPT? Look closely. Just then, a young man dressed in a food delivery uniform and wearing a helmet walked towards us from a distance. The shorter man immediately became alert. Brother-in-law, there's a delivery guy. The tall man who had just put on the man's leather shoes immediately stood up upon hearing this. A wrench slipped from his sleeve and he asked somewhat nervously, they haven't had time to smash that car yet, have they? The short man quickly shook his head, no. The tall man finally breathed a sigh of relief. On the other side, as Luo Chen walked towards the car, he complained, Xiaodai, do I look like a bad guy? I'm very handsome, okay? Nai Xiaodi giggled, who's the kind person who goes to the women's restroom in the middle of the night? Luo Chen walked to the car, unlocked it, and got in. Then he looked puzzled at the riverbank a few dozen meters away. Why are there two people by the river, fishing in the middle of the night? With that, he stepped on the accelerator and drove off. The elevated highway late at night, that's Bayanbuluk. An hour later, Luo Chen parked his car in another parking lot. Back in room 404, he couldn't wait to take off his takeout uniform, pull out a walnut-sized crystal from his pocket, and run to the bathroom to wash it vigorously. Dung beetles are F asterisk 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 G disgusting. It took several applications of soap to get it clean. Luo Chen thought for a moment, then simply took off all his clothes, took a shower, and felt great. Luo Chen casually tossed his silk underwear and crystal items onto the sofa, changed into his bathrobe, and ran to the second bedroom to retrieve his game helmet. Nai Xiaodi's voice rang out softly, not wearing the bulletproof vest anymore. Luo Chen frowned, how are you going to work wearing this? Go wash the clothes, mop the floor, make some late-night snacks. Nai Xiaodi's voice immediately rose 8 octaves. Are you serious? Luo Chen was taken aback. What are you trying to renege on your bet? A bet's a bet. Nai Xiaodi lost her temper and after a moment said angrily, from this day forward I will never forgive gambling and drugs. Luo Chen sensed something was wrong but couldn't quite put his finger on it. A few minutes later, the washing machine emitted its old, creaking sound. A little while later, Nai Xiaodi's voice rang out from the bathroom. You told me to mop the floor, where's the mop? Luo Chen was about to put on his helmet when he heard this and paused. Holy crap, it seems there isn't one. Oh well, I'll buy one tomorrow, call me when the midnight snack is ready. Nai Xiaodi responded, hee that's great. Luo Chen was satisfied and entered the game. After wasting half a day, Luo Chen discovered that many players on the level leaderboard had already reached level 28. Luo Chen frowned, how did they rise so quickly? But seeing nightly revelry among the level 28 players, Luo Chen suddenly realized, with so many bodyguards and followers I could do that too. Where are we going later? Remembering Nai Xiaodi's offer to accompany him to fight the Judgment Sword, Luo Chen's eyes lit up. Zuma Temple. There, even the most powerful monsters can drop the Judgment Staff. I'll go right away. Luo Chen immediately bought a whole backpack full of random teleportation scrolls for traveling, save where you can, spend where you can, and ride his bicycle to the bar. We were teleported to Snake Valley again, passed through the pass, and arrived at Mengzheng Province. The Lucky 10 truly affects all aspects of life. Before he could even use up all 3 bundles of random teleportation scrolls, Luo Chen arrived at the entrance of the Zuma Temple. I initially thought there wouldn't be many players here, but it turns out the entrance was more bustling than a vegetable market. Luo Chen ignored it, quickly went down to the first floor, and then flew away. I ran all the way to the 5th floor of Zuma in one go. Random teleportation scrolls, 1 bundle remaining. Many players have already thwarted Luo Chen's plan to solo the 1400 HP Zuma Guardian. Just then, Nai Xiaodi suddenly appeared beside him. The laundry is done and the midnight snack is ready. Want to come out for dinner? Feeling elated, Luo Chen immediately found a safe corner to log off. Taking off his helmet, Luo Chen sniffed hard, then suddenly asked in confusion, what's that smell? Then I looked at the table full of food. Except for the dark bowl in the middle that looked like meat, the other plates were all green vegetables. Shredded cucumber, sliced green radish, lettuce, spinach, chives, broccoli, romaine lettuce. Luo Chen picked up his chopsticks and poked at the bowl of vegetables in the middle. Xiao Dai, what's this? I found a big piece of meat in the kitchen of Ah Xiang rice noodles downstairs. I was thinking of making you braised pork. Nai Xiaodi's voice grew softer and softer. Luo Chen pointed to the other green vegetables. Then what's going on here? Nai Zioti's voice trailed off. The braised pork wasn't done well, so the rest was just quickly prepared. What the hell? Luo Chen sat down at the table casually and started eating. He ordered the late-night snack himself, and Nai Xiaoti made it with care, so he had to finish it no matter what. Something feels off. After enjoying a green feast, Luo Chen went back online and entered Zuma Pavilion. And believe it or not, the Zuma Pavilion in the Apocalypse New Century is about the same size as the old Zuma Level 6, and there are quite a few monsters there too. Moreover, several groups of players were already working together to kill monsters, with messages floating above their heads. Seeking high-priced Zuma's moveset, Luo Chen just passing by, I know the way but I'm not telling you. Left, up, right. The instant he appeared on the next map, Luo Chen suddenly sensed a familiar scene. There's a wall of fire at the entrance and a row of mages opposite. Behind them, someone had already blocked their way. Without the slightest hesitation, Luo Chen took off. And right where he had just stood, a dozen or so bolts of lightning instantly struck. Luo Chen flew around randomly for a moment and suddenly realized that he was still in Zuma Pavilion and had not gone to the next level. Holy crap. Luo Chen was momentarily confused. Was his approach wrong? At that moment, a dozen or so players appeared behind them in pursuit, and judging from their posture, they were the same group that had blocked the door. Luo Chen didn't retaliate, he simply found a door and went inside. In this Zuma temple, there were still several groups of players grinding monsters, and yellow announcements were floating above their heads. Could someone please help me get to the next floor? Luo Chen was speechless. He turned around and walked back to another Zuma pavilion. After traversing dozens of maps, he finally confirmed that the number of Zuma's guilds in the Apocalypse New Century had definitely increased more than 100-fold. Moreover, almost every player I encountered was begging for directions. Damn it, they're all lost in Zuma's lair. Binhai City, Wang's group building. The third young master of the Wang family was called out of his gaming pod by his secretary, his face flushed with anger. What is it now? The secretary in the short skirt trembled with fear. The third young master of the Wang family frowned when he saw the burly man in a suit next to the secretary. Uncle Bio, what kind of lousy assassin did you hire last time? Black Widow no less. I'm practically losing face in the family now. Uncle Bio didn't refute but said in a deep voice, Third young master, something has happened to the eldest young master. The third young master of the Wang family was immediately startled, then chuckled. Oh. The Wang family's future emperor, a top disciple of the Blazing Flame sect, a knight of the apocalypse, the old master's hand-picked successor, what could possibly happen to him? He got killed in the game too. Uncle Bio shook his head. It's not a game. Young master was knocked unconscious and robbed in real life. He was only wearing his underwear and is still unconscious. It said he's been sent to a hospital under the Blazing Flame sect. The third young master of the Wang family was initially shocked, then a fanatical look appeared in his eyes. Luo Chen finally arrived at a Zuma pavilion where there were no other players. After clearing a space and waiting for a while, Nai Xiaoti appeared beside him, indicating that she had finished washing up. I must say this female ghost is quite capable. How do we get down to the 6th floor? Luo Chen asked directly. Nai Xiaoti chimed in, I don't know, I'm not familiar with this area. Luo Chen was immediately annoyed. You said you'd fight the judgment staff with me, what's the point of fighting if we don't even know each other? Nai Xiaoti was silent for a moment, then uttered a sentence. Just follow your instincts, you'll definitely succeed. Go for it, brother. Wow, Luo Chen suddenly realized that Nai Xiaoti's temperament had changed drastically since returning from Binhai University. Had she transformed from a fierce and ruthless woman from Sichuan into a gentle and sweet girl from Jiangnan? Yes, keep it up, follow your instincts. Luo Chen thought for a moment, then decided. North at the top, south at the bottom, men on the left, women on the right, so he charged toward the door on the right. A few minutes later, Luo Chen arrived at a room full of large rats. Luo Chen was startled. What the hell, is this Jerry's hometown? Nai Xiaoti hid in a corner, made herself invisible, and then cast the divine armor spell. This room is special, we must have come to the right place. Luo Chen nodded, grasped the purgatory sword, and began work in half a month. The giant rat with 385 HP, 3 defense, 1223 attack, and 330 experience points is one of the gentlest monsters in the Zuma temple. Even without Nai Xiaoti's help, Luo Chen could clear out this Zuma temple on his own. 20 minutes later, Luo Chen cleared out all the large rats, gaining nearly 100,000 experience points. Nai Xiaoti was happily following behind Luo Chen, constantly picking up items and gold coins, and now she's starting to throw them out again. Luo Chen immediately gave her 2 mobile warehouse scrolls. Try not to waste them. Nizayodi calmed down, re-enhanced her magic and defense stats, and then typed, "Which door is next?" Luo Chen, full of vigor and high spirits, waved his hand boldly, men on top, women on bottom, then he walked towards the door below. Nizayodi quickly followed. Luo Chen had just entered the next Zuma pavilion when he was immediately stunned. This map was filled entirely with Zuma archers. Fortunately, just in time, Nizayodi, who was right behind him, hit Luo Chen on the head with a sanitary napkin. A collective invisibility spell enveloped the two of them. Even so, several Zuma archers continued to attack Luo Chen relentlessly. After Nizayodi used several healing spells, she reappeared. "Brother, you're amazing. You chose the right one again." Luo Chen started to feel a little uncomfortable. "Zio Dai, please speak properly, you're giving me goosebumps." He shook his head, voluntarily shut down the half-moon skill, and began assassinating and fighting monsters. The Zuma Archer also has 385 HP, 10 defense, 1218 attack, and 370 experience points. As long as they aren't focused down, they're not in much danger. This time it took longer than the previous map, but I also gained more experience points, exceeding 110,000. As for the dropped items, nothing particularly eye-catching. Next, Luo Chen became cautious. "I have a feeling the next map will be full of Zuma statues." Nizayodi agreed, and after applying the magic protection spell, she threw down about 10 bottles of Sunfire Aura, carrying. Luo Chen picked it up and began to walk through the door. Upon arriving at the new Zuma pavilion, Luo Chen was relieved to see it filled with Zuma statues. They're all petrified. But then his relief turned into dismay. When a few nearby statues awoke from their petrification, all of them came back to life. This time, Nizayodi didn't use invisibility. Instead, she summoned skeletons and had Luo Chen tank the monsters and clear them. The Zuma statue has 495 HP, 450 experience points, 12 defense, and 2032 attack. It's incredibly powerful. However, it seems that Nizayodi has switched to high-level Taoist equipment, and her healing spells have become more powerful, thus maintaining a balance. Therefore, cleaning the Zuma statue took the least amount of time. Gained 135,000 experience points. Just then, Nizayodi stepped forward and tossed a coral ring to Luo Chen. Luo Chen picked it up and immediately became happy. Attack 06 excellent +2, he immediately replaced the attack 5 skull ring. After resting, Luo Chen stood before the north door, somewhat apprehensive. "I have a feeling it's full of Zuma guardians inside." This time, Nizayodi actually entered first. A moment later, Luo Chen followed. The moment they landed, a collective invisibility spell was cast. Luo Chen looked ahead and saw that they were all alive Zuma guardians, each one strong and powerful with muscles like iron, wielding cast iron hammers. The Zuma Guardian also has 495 HP, 480 experience points, 15 defense, and 2234 attack, making it significantly stronger than the statue. Nizayodi has finally begun using her poison casting technique. With the female Taoist assistance, Luo Chen found the cleanup much easier this time. The drop rate for regular Zuma Guardians seems to be lower than that for giant rat guardians. After killing these 300 monsters, I gained another 144,000 experience points. Now, Luo Chen and his companion have passed through 4 special Zuma dungeons: the giant rat, the Zuma archer, the Zuma statue, and the Zuma guardian. Do you think the next map will be Zuma level 6, or? Luo Chen had a strong premonition. It's most likely a room with extremely rare monsters, like an 800 HP Zuma archer, a 900 HP Zuma statue, and a 1000 HP Zuma guardian. If there are also 300, they'll all be dead, right? Luo Chen felt that Nizayodi's words made sense, but since we're already here. Moreover, the drop rate for top-tier Zuma items is quite high. Finally, Luo Chen gritted his teeth. "We can't back down, Zio Dai, you go first." Nizayodi was speechless. But as a Taoist priest, her first choice was indeed the best option. Nizayodi activated her magic protection and walked towards the door Luo Chen pointed to. A few seconds later, Luo Chen caught up. Upon arriving at the new Zuma pavilion map, Luo Chen looked around, frowning in confusion. This is it. At a glance, there were only about 30 monsters scattered throughout the entire space. Don't be careless. They should all be top-tier monsters, 10 of each type. I just got hit by 2 arrows and lost 90 health. Luo Chen understood, thought for a moment, and then said to Nizayodi, "You poison those Zuma archers first, then we'll lure them one by one." Both top-tier statues and top-tier hammers possess terrifying attack power. 2 hammer blows can take down a mage, and 3 hammer blows can take down a Taoist priest. This is no exaggeration. Especially the top-tier hammer, it even has a berserk mode. A few consecutive hits and even a warrior will be killed. Take, for example, the Zuma Guardian in front of Luo Chen. Even with all the red and green poison applied, its defense remained very high. When it swung its weapon, each hit dealt 80 damage. Aside from Gong Hanlin, most people couldn't withstand it. A level 29 warrior has 397 health points. Luo Chen is even worse. Fortunately, with Nai Xiaodi's divine armor technique, healing technique, and great sun water, Luo Chen was able to barely stand and clash with the supreme hammer. A few dozen seconds later, the first Zuma Guardian dropped its hammer and collapsed to the ground, dropping a pile of gold coins, several potions, and a memory necklace. Nai Xiaodi stepped forward and picked it up, then lured over a top-tier Zuma statue before disappearing into the shadows. Luo Chen took over and challenged the statue to a one-on-one duel. Just then, Nai Xiaodi, who was healing him, suddenly left and ran towards the center of the map. Luo Chen was immediately under immense pressure. "Holy crap, you crazy woman, stop running around, I can't handle this." Fortunately, Nai Xiaodi quickly ran back and then healed Luo Chen. After taking down the statue, Nai Xiaodi popped up, poisoned an archer and got a ghost suit. Luo Chen scoffed, "What's there to be excited about? Then we fight monsters." Only when there were only 2 Zuma Guardians left did Luo Chen and his companion manage to obtain 2 memory necklaces, 1 purple conch shell and 1 night bracelet. Well, actually the drop rate is already quite high, but unfortunately neither of them can use it. I defeated another Zuma Guardian, but didn't even get a decent piece of equipment. As Luo Chen hacked at the last of the top-tier hammers, he said to Nai Xiaodi, "If this path we're taking leads to the 6th level of Zuma, I doubt any player could get through by now, right?" Nai Xiaodi agreed. As Luo Chen delivered his final strike, the magnificent hammer crashed to the ground, the hammer flying a great distance. On top of his sledgehammer appeared a dark black club. Luo Chen froze, incredulous. The guard's hammer exploded, the scepter of judgment. Looking at the weapon in his backpack, Luo Chen only now came to his senses, overjoyed. "Wait, I got the Staff of Judgment already." Nai Xiaodi was also very excited and unusually spoke in voice. "Did I keep my promise?" Luo Chen was in a great mood and nodded generously. After a moment he frowned. "You can speak, why are you typing?" Nai Xiaodi reappeared. "I'm afraid you'll get tired. Just digest 1 more spirit crystal and you'll be fine." Luo Chen raised an eyebrow, looking forward to it. Next, he urged Nai Xiaodi, "Hurry up and go to the next level, we need to reach level 30 today." Right now, level 30 is too tempting for Luo Chen, because we can't get our hands on the weapons. Staff of Judgment, weight 80, durability 33, attack 030, requires level 30. The final Zuma temple has only 2 exits, therefore the next level is Zuma level 6. As usual, Nai Xiaodi went first, remaining hidden. A moment later, Luo Chen caught up. Upon entering the 6th level of Zuma, Luo Chen gasped in shock, "Holy crap, this place is absolutely still virgin territory." It was densely packed with monsters. Luo Chen even discovered a scene that might be considered a bug. Many monsters were overlapping each other. "Nai Xiaodi, we just need to clear 1 path. I just tried it and it can't be randomized." Luo Chen understood. Maps that cannot be randomly teleported to will not return you to your original location after logging off. That is to say, if you log off at the 6th level of Zuma, you will reappear at the 5th level of Zuma when you log back in. Clear a path and move forward quickly, so that even if players come in from behind, they won't be able to catch up with them. Luo Chen no longer coveted experience, and with Nai Xiaodi's help in stealth mode, advanced in a straight line. He understood what Nai Xiaodi meant. She probably wanted to arrive at the Zuma Cult Master's house, the location of the boss, before 9 o'clock. Several tens of minutes later, the two arrived at the next level of the map, Zuma Level 7, Level 1. Monsters still roam the ground. Luo Chen pressed himself against the wall, focusing solely on clearing his path, and advanced rapidly. At just around the corner, Luo Chen once again faced off against a top-tier Zuma statue with 900 HP and began to stand still and unleash his attacks. The top-tier statue quickly died, and finally a piece of equipment that excited Luo Chen dropped, a ring of power with an attack range of 0.6. Although it has normal attributes, it is still a top-tier accessory for warriors. It is said that the power rings have a hidden property. Wearing a pair will unleash the ring's maximum attack power. Luo Chen happily put on the power ring and continued clearing a path through the monster horde. After another several tens of minutes of drilling, the two finally arrived at the 2nd level of the 7th floor of Zuma. During this time, I also killed quite a few rare monsters and got a few memory necklaces, but they were all ordinary ones. There seemed to be blessing oil too, I didn't see it clearly. Upon arriving at this map, Luo Chen stopped advancing in a straight line and instead began clearing monsters and leveling up. Even if other players came in later, they definitely wouldn't be able to catch up with them. Halfway through the clearing process, the top-tier archer dropped another Zuma-branded equipment, a green necklace with attack power of 2-5. Luo Chen, it's still not as good as my 06 Ghost necklace. As for the possible hidden attributes, the green necklace provides a great boost to attack power and PvP, but it's useless for Luo Chen. Nai Xiaodi poisoned 2 top-tier archers, and this time she actually got a mind bracelet. The Mind Bracelet, although its Taoist magic level is only 1-2, has higher requirements for wearing than the Zuma's famous three-eyed bracelet. It likely has hidden attributes. However, since it was Taoist equipment, Luo Chen didn't pay any attention to it. After clearing the map, the two stepped into the third level of Zuma's 7th floor. Luo Chen's experience bar is almost full. This greatly fueled Luo Chen's passion for monster hunting. He was like a tank rampaging recklessly. Nai Xiaodi followed closely behind, doing her job as a healer while also acting as a pickup point for the little sprites. This little sprite, while possessing the ability to automatically filter for top-tier equipment, also steals almost all high-level Taoist equipment. For example, Luo Chen had just killed a top-tier statue, which dropped a soul necklace, and it was gone in the blink of an eye. During this time, while attacking the Zuma statue, the Zuma archer dropped 2 bottles of blessing oil. It really did drop, which Luo Chen picked up. Seeing that his experience bar was already full, visual illusion, leave a comment if you've been fooled before. Luo Chen's fighting spirit soared even higher. When nearly half of the third level of Zuma's 7th floor had been cleared, Luo Chen finally reached level 30. He immediately equipped himself with the weapon every warrior dreams of, the Staff of Judgment, and felt a surge of emotion, almost bringing tears to his eyes. Nick Chung, now I finally know how you spent those 5 years. These past few hours have felt like an eternity. Luo Chen used up a bottle of blessing oil, increasing the weapon's luck by 1. Although Luo Chen has a luck stat of 10, adding another attribute makes the weapon even more awesome. Holding the staff with +1 luck, Luo Chen couldn't suppress his restless excitement and eagerly pounced on a top-tier hammer, his pride soaring. Except Uncle Nine's judgment. Nai Xiaodi watched Luo Chen's one-on-one duel with great interest from the sidelines. Well, without a healer's support, a level 30 warrior still has a bit of a hard time defeating a Zuma Guardian with 1000 HP. However, the ultimate hammer ultimately fell to Luo Chen's club. But then, Luo Chen and Nai Xiaodi immediately froze, completely dumbfounded. A moment later, Luo Chen was the first to react, stepping forward to pick up the weapon that had exploded on the ground, another Scepter of Judgment. Luo Chen was so excited he could hardly believe it. No way, my luck is just unstoppable. Lucky 10 is awesome. The drop rate is incredible. After glancing at the weapon's attributes, Luo Chen froze once again. This weapon. Holy crap. Staff of Judgment, weight 80, durability 30-35, attack 0-30, attack speed +2, excellent +2, requires level 30. A weapon that increases attack speed. This, for judgments, it's common to see enhancements to strength, accuracy, or even magic and Taoist techniques, but enhancements to attack speed are extremely rare. If Luo Chen remembered correctly in his previous life, the highest attack speed judgment in legendary history was only 2 points. This is amazing. Does it have invincibility attributes? Top-level term, incredible luck. Luo Chen immediately replaced Madame Niu with this top-grade judgment staff and applied another bottle of blessing oil, increasing the weapon's luck by +1. He was ecstatic to the point of madness, and he couldn't wait to share this uncontrollable joy with the silver-haired female Taoist. When Nai Xiaodi saw this, she wasn't overly excited. Instead, she remained somewhat silent. Something's not right, Luo Chen asked in surprise. What's wrong, Xiaodi? Are you jealous? Nai Xiaodi paused for a while before finally replying. It's okay, I guess I was overthinking it. Let's hurry up and clear the monsters. Before 9 o'clock, we need to establish a foothold in the final map and defeat the night boss, Zuma Lord. Luo Chen received it. He used a mobile warehouse scroll to organize his items, learned the level 30 warrior skill Savage Charge, and then signaled to Nai Xiaodi to set off. Holding the Judgment Staff, which grants a +2 attack speed bonus, Luo Chen felt invincible. Who else? Finally, around 8:30, the two successfully entered the house of the Zuma cult leader. This map isn't zoomed in too much. It's about the same size as the Bird's Nest and Water Cube. They took 3 steps and then disappeared, spending more than 10 minutes before arriving at the center of the hall. Looking at the Zuma Lord, who was squatting on the stone tablet in a petrified state not far away, Luo Chen felt not only joy but also excitement. Xiaodi, this big boss won't just drop a Dragon Slayer sword for us, will it? Nai Xiaodi seemed to have some hidden worries and remained silent. She made Luo Chen invisible, summoned a skeleton to block his way, and then lured a few bats to block his position before moving forward to lure the living Zuma cult leader. The Zuma cult leader dispelled his petrification and leaped directly to Nizioti's side, unleashing a fiery punch. Nizioti ran behind Luo Chen and immediately disappeared. Luo Chen was puzzled. Zio Dai, is it poisoned? You typed directly to verify a hypothesis, Nizioti popped up. Luo Chen was speechless, so he had no choice but to close the half-moon and slash and stab at the skeleton in front of him. Nizioti didn't attack Zuma Lord at all, she only focused on healing the summoned skeletons. Zuma Lord couldn't hit Luo Chen either, and after positioning herself well, Luo Chen was safe. During this time, the Zuma leader kept healing herself, which annoyed Luo Chen, who started to yell, "Damn it, you old hag, what's wrong with you? Can't you just poison me a little?" "Brother, sigh husband, listen to me, keep hitting." What else could Luo Chen say? After a long and arduous struggle, we finally defeated the boss of the Zuma temple before 9 o'clock. Luo Chen quickly glanced around at the fallen items. There was no dragon slaying. The only special item is a power ring, a rather unusual Gale necklace. There's also a bottle of blessing oil. Nizioti stepped forward, picked up the item from the ground, examined it for several dozen seconds, and then turned to hand it to Luo Chen. This is definitely a big problem. Luo Chen was stunned. He took the two pieces of equipment and stared at them, completely dumbfounded, incredulous, and utterly shocked. Holy crap, Nizioti, have you lost your mind? This is ridiculously amazing. Who the hell are you on? Both pieces of equipment are top tier. Luo Chen equipped it immediately. Ring of Power, weight 3, durability 4-7, attack 0-10, excellent +4, requires attack power 46. Whirlwind Necklace, weight 1, durability 6-8, attack speed +4, excellent +2, attack 0-5, excellent +4, requires level 19. Nizioti ignored Luo Chen's disdain and traded for 3 more bottles of blessing oil, 2 of which she had picked up earlier. Honey, drink this. Luo Chen was somewhat puzzled. Getting +1 luck to a weapon is easy, but the rest is difficult. As a result, after drinking 3 bottles of blessing oil, the judgment staff transformed into a +4 luck item. This time, even Luo Chen sensed something was wrong. Holy crap, my luck. Seems really strong. What's going on? It's highly likely that it's an overflow of luck. Nizioti seemed somewhat worried. A moment later, she spoke again using voice. Honey, don't move yet. Let's fight the Zuma Lord in the night and verify it again. Luo Chen's good mood was dampened by Nizioti's anxieties. No, girl, you're making me a little nervous. Isn't getting top-tier equipment a good thing? Why are you so nervous? We're not stealing or robbing, and we're not exploiting a bug. We should be happy. Nizioti typed, luck overflows, misfortune increases. Luo Chen frowned. What do you mean by that? Just then it was 9 o'clock. The entire Zuma Lord's house was quickly swarmed with monsters, some even overlapping each other, and the Zuma Lord, who had just been defeated, crouched back on the stone tablet. This time, Nizioti was noticeably more cautious, moving stealthily with each step. If she were focused down by archers whose attributes were doubled by the nighttime buff, she would be dead. A few dozen seconds later, Nizioti revived the Zuma cult master, immediately returned to block Luo Chen's side, cast a group invisibility spell, and then began frantically casting healing spells on herself. The Zuma Lord, buffed by the Dark Knight buff, leaped in front of them, moving at a speed that felt like teleportation, faster than Usain Bolt. Luo Chen suddenly realized he was missing his target, so he simply closed his eyes and fired without thinking. With the weapon and necklace granting an attack speed bonus of +6, Luo Chen wielded the Judgment Staff, his strikes as swift as a whirlwind. No matter how fast Zuma is, he'll still get stabbed when he gets to the assassination position. This is only in a game. If it were real life, if someone dared to use the Judgment Staff, which weighs 80 kilograms like that, Ultraman would have 2 dents in it. Unable to defeat Luo Chen, the Zuma leader grew increasingly agitated, summoning Zuma minions that were about to engulf Luo Chen. Fortunately, the assassination position wasn't blocked by the petrified monsters, otherwise Nizioti would have had to risk luring them away again. Zuma's health is decreasing, and his speed is becoming increasingly ferocious. Without Nizioti's green poison, it took a full 10 minutes for the Zuma cult leader to finally collapse. 5 items fell to the ground. Destiny Crystal, Amulet, Bracelet, Commoner, Male, Super Recall Stone, Skull Ring. In the blink of an eye, the corpse of the Zuma cultist on the ground stiffened, and 2 more items fell from the ground. Destiny Crystal, Teleportation Ring, holy crap. Luo Chen was truly dumbfounded this time, as if he had drunk a bottle of 72 proof strong liquor straight from the bottle, feeling dizzy and disoriented. What just happened? Desecrating a corpse? Nizioti seemed to be mentally prepared. Although she didn't say a word, she quickly picked up all the items and equipment on the ground by moving stealthily with each step. Luo Chen asked blankly, "The drop rate? It's doubled." A few seconds later, Nai Xiaodi directly traded a spirit crystal to Luo Chen. Luo Chen took it blankly and used it, spirit +1. After a while, Nai Xiaodi spoke directly, her voice grave. "I can now be 100% certain that this is an overflow of luck." The drop rate of apocalypse equipment from the night boss does increase tenfold, but something like this, the drop rate increase is more than 1,000-fold. And it even involved desecrating the corpse, a second drop. After saying that, Nai Xiaodi directly showed the remaining 6 items dropped by the boss. The spirit crystal has already been used by Luo Chen's super return stone, Destiny Crystal Soul, a simple garment. This is a man's clothing. It looks ordinary, but it is by no means common clothing. Skull ring, carved from the bones of a powerful creature, its ferocious appearance conceals a savage power. Evil repelling bracelet, weight 1, durability 10, agility +2, attack +4, excellent +4, requires level 19. Teleportation ring, weight 1, durability 5, requires level 12. Nai Xiaodi put away the soul crystal, having traded the rest to Luo Chen, and asked in a complicated tone, "What kind of luck do you think it takes to obtain such precious equipment in one go? And even a teleportation ring? Teleportation ring, amazing. What incredible luck." Luo Chen accepted the trade, shook his head fiercely, and felt little joy at the unexpected equipment drops. Instead, a sense of fear for the unknown arose. What exactly is overflowing luck? Nai Xiaodi paused for a moment before softly saying, "A long, long time ago, there was an immortal surnamed Zalf, who subdued a yellow dragon on the banks of the Yellow River, and refined it into an earring. This earring is said to possess the divine power of the yellow dragon, granting its wearer abundant good fortune." She paused, then continued recounting with reminiscence. "The yellow dragon earrings have been passed down through generations of the Jujube immortals' descendants. While bringing endless good fortune, they have also been accompanied by terrifying misfortune. I know the 46th generation head of the Jujube family, and this is absolutely true. The so-called overflow of good fortune refers to this uncontrollable force bringing boundless luck to the beneficiary, but at a cost. Our ancestor of Taoist cultivation, Lao Tzu, once said, 'Misfortune is the foundation of fortune. Fortune is the harbinger of misfortune. Who knows its limits?' There is no absolute answer. In other words, there is no single right answer to this question." After listening for a while, Luo Chen suddenly realized, "So you're saying I'm incredibly lucky. If luck brings me boundless benefits, then it will also bring disaster. But if I'm lucky enough, disaster will stay away." Nai Xiaodi was speechless for a long time before gritting her teeth and saying, "If you keep gaining benefits without end, then disaster will affect everyone closely related to you." Luo Chen suddenly felt indifferent, and his mood immediately improved. "Hey, I've been single since birth, all alone. Xiao Dai, you were closest to me, but you're still just a lonely ghost. You're already dead. What's there to be afraid of?" Nai Xiaodi was speechless. After a while, she resolutely said, "Let's go back to the city. I need to test what your luck threshold critical point is." Luo Chen was in a much better mood now and objected, "We've finally made it to the Zuma cult master's house. Let's fight a little longer." Nai Xiaodi was frantic, pacing back and forth. After a moment, she finally remembered a reason. "I made you a big fruit and vegetable feast last night, and you've replenished so much water. If you don't log off soon, your bladder is going to burst." Luo Chen was startled and immediately obeyed and returned to the city. Upon returning to Bichon City, Luo Chen was directly teleported to warehouse room 222. Ignoring the fat man beside him, Luo Chen immediately took off his helmet. After resolving the issue, I logged back in. Seeing Nai Xiaodi beside him, Luo Chen's tone was full of gratitude. "Haha, luckily you reminded me in time, otherwise I would have wet my pants." Nai Xiaodi asked earnestly, "You didn't pee on your hands, did you?" Luo Chen thought for a moment and said definitively, "No." Nai Xiaodi breathed a sigh of relief. It seems the luck hasn't reached its limit yet. These words left the chubby guy next to him completely bewildered. What's wrong with Sai? Is he suffering from kidney deficiency, or is his thing not working anymore? Of course this couldn't be said outright. Fatty Kim complimented, "Sai has a good wife." Nai Xiaodi smiled broadly. "Right, listening to your wife brings good fortune. Disobeying your wife leads to danger everywhere." Fatty Jin was stunned again. Aunt Bird's leaky gaming pod is fixed. "To be honest, that voice is really sweet." Could it be old man, young woman?" Nai Xiaodi asked Jin Pangzi for many mobile warehouse scrolls, and of course the payment was charged to Luo Chen. Then she traded a backpack full of top-tier equipment to Luo Chen. The top-tier equipment that Luo Chen is handling this time includes but is not limited to Zuma brand name equipment, such as the Green Necklace Knight's Bracelet Power Ring Purple Conch Shell and Dragon Bracelet. Woma brand name equipment, such as the Platinum Ring DZI Bead Necklace Life Necklace and Sibir Bracelet, as well as various top-tier items at +1, +2, and even +3. Luo Chen even sold his original top-tier Coral Ring and Death's Gloves with +2 defense and +3 attack. Kim Jong-un laughed so hard his jaw dislocated. If Luo Chen only accepts in-game currency after this trip, I reckon Fatty Jin wouldn't be able to come up with it even if he were beaten to death. Fortunately, Luo Chen is also short of money, so he can make a move with credit coins. As the Apocalypse game continues to gain traction, equipment prices are skyrocketing, so after dealing with all this equipment, Luo Chen instantly became a tycoon. This was only because Luo Chen bought 2 ghost crystals from Fatty Jin, otherwise he would have turned into a gold-plated monster. Nai Xiaodi asked Luo Chen to buy 7 more bottles of blessing oil, and Luo Chen wasn't stingy. It's just 7 million gold coins. The secret that tiger snakes and red snakes can drop blessed oil has spread, and now Snake Valley is said to be packed with players, all hoping to be the lucky one. Therefore, the price of blessing oil has dropped from 5 million gold coins per bottle 2 days ago to 1 million gold coins per bottle now. This is because the demand isn't that high. A bottle costs 2,000 yuan, which is more expensive than Maodai. Well, the real reason is that the drop rate of blessing oil is much higher than that of good weapons. Ordinary players are reluctant to use their ordinary weapons, while advanced players have already used up most of their advanced weapons. After resting, Luo Chen and Nai Xiaodi booked room 404 again by the hour. Yes, upgrading weapons requires a bit of psychological suggestion. This isn't science, it's metaphysics. Luo Chen currently has a regular purgatory staff, a judgment staff with +1 luck, and a super judgment staff with +4 luck and +2 attack speed in his backpack. He asked Nai Xiaodi, which one should I upgrade? Nai Xiaodi thought for a moment, then left the decision to Luo Chen. What do you think? Me, I'd definitely upgrade it to the highest grade. I'm not that short of money right now, so I'll prioritize personal use. Nai Xiaodi thought Luo Chen was right. After receiving approval, Luo Chen directly bought 35 pieces of 12% purity black iron ore and prepared to get started. As for jewelry, he still chose the blue jade necklace. This thing is just fine. 3 hours later. Holding the judgment staff with an attack power of 0.36, attack speed +2, and luck +4, Luo Chen hesitated. Why do I have a feeling that if I upgrade it any further, something bad will happen? Nai Xiaodi's eyes lit up. You've reached your luck threshold. Is this feeling strong? Do you still want an S rank, or should we try to level up again next time? Luo Chen brandished the weapon a couple of times. Somewhat unsure of its power. But I also feel that if I don't upgrade it 7 times in one go, in Apocalypse New Century the NPC for upgrading weapons clearly states, the same weapon can only be upgraded 7 times, the result will be even worse. Nai Xiaodi pouted, then what do you suggest we do? Luo Chen thought for a moment, then his eyes suddenly lit up. I've got it, increasing the dosage will solve the problem. After saying that, he first spent a large sum of money to buy 8 pieces of black iron ore with a purity of 20, then asked Nai Xiaodi, I remember we made several memory necklaces, but we didn't sell them just now. Are they with you? Nai Xiaodi directly traded 4 memory necklaces to you. These were for upgrading your weapon. Who knew you'd been using blue jade all along? With 8 pieces of black iron ore and 4 memory necklaces, Luo Chen felt reassured. This time it will definitely succeed. Half an hour later, after Luo Chen slashed Nai Xiaodi with his sword, he let out an extremely arrogant roar. Who else? Nai Xiaodi was also surprised, muttering to herself, why hasn't it reached the threshold yet? It's even more exaggerated now. Or is there something wrong with the secret my best friend Zhao Hua Xiang Wyman told me? Luo Chen's judgment staff not only upgraded successfully, but it also jumped to a new point. Jumping to the next high point, that's like winning the lottery in a low-probability event. This weapon's new attributes are terrifying. Staff of Judgment, weight 80, durability 30, 38 plus 3, attack 0, 38 plus 8, attack speed +2, luck +4, requires level 30. Seeing Luo Chen's arrogance, Nai Xiaodi couldn't help but say, honey, keep drinking the blessing oil. She refused to believe that Luo Chen's luck had no limit. Upon hearing this, Luo Chen didn't hesitate at all and immediately started drinking. The first bottle of blessing oil left Luo Chen stunned. Instead of increasing, his luck decreased, turning into +3. Nai Xiaodi's eyes lit up. Keep drinking. Luo Chen hesitated, then asked for another bottle. Luck +2. Without Nai Xiaodi urging him, Luo Chen downed 2 bottles in a row. Then he successfully eliminated all the lucky 4s. Luo Chen was completely bewildered. Holy crap, a reverse blessing. I drank 4 bottles of oil and got 4 curses added to my name. Nai Xiaodi finally smiled. It seems we finally found the luck threshold. Seeing her laughing beside him, Luo Chen was instantly furious. What the hell are you laughing at? If you laugh again, I'm going to get angry. Damn it, you're still laughing. I'm going to shove that silk lingerie down the toilet in a minute. Losing money is better than suffering disaster. I'm happy for you, Nai Xiaodi said righteously. Luo Chen asked with some doubt, really? Absolutely true, heaven and earth can bear witness. Luo Chen had no choice but to believe it. Is this the threshold for luck? Has my luck reached the critical point? Nai Xiaodi wasn't entirely sure either. I can only say that the overflow of luck has probably disappeared. By the way, try not to add luck to your weapons in the future. Today's troubles all started because you drank a bottle of blessing oil. Didn't they drop a ton of super awesome equipment? Not only did they get the awesome evil-repelling bracelet and the incredibly awesome Gale necklace, but also the even more awesome judgment staff, and the most awesome teleportation ring ever. Nai Xiaodi was a little insecure and stammered, maybe, possibly, your talent for luck really far exceeds my imagination, even more powerful than the yellow dragon earrings from the Zhao family. Upon hearing this, Luo Chen puffed out his chest. Of course. Watch me drink up the luck pill too. After saying that, he drank one of the remaining 3 bottles of blessing oil. I've already bought them all, now I'm rich. As a result, the curse increased by 1. Luo Chen was dumbfounded. What the hell? My luck really didn't work. Nai Xiaodi also began to worry. Why don't you try drinking it again? This time, it was Luo Chen's turn to lack confidence. After hesitating for a long time, he finally gritted his teeth and drank a bottle. Thankfully, the curse was lifted this time. Luo Chen breathed a sigh of relief, brandishing the staff of judgment. That's settled then, I feel great. Nai Xiaodi frowned and thought for a moment, then said, try equipping the other judgment sword and drinking a bottle of blessing oil. Upon hearing this, Luo Chen switched weapons and decisively drank the last bottle. Invalid, Nai Xiaodi breathed a sigh of relief. It seems it really was a weapon luck issue. But don't be discouraged, maybe your luck will return in a day and you'll be able to get super awesome equipment again. Luo Chen nodded repeatedly. That makes sense. It was already past 1 p.m. When Luo Chen logged off, took off his helmet, let out a long breath and went into the bathroom. A minute later, he came out looking dejected. Nai Xiaodi's silk lingerie fluttered from the sofa and a puzzled voice asked, what's wrong, did you really pee on your hands? Luo Chen waved his hand looking incredulous. Damn it, I didn't pee on my hands. I peed on my shoes. Nai Xiaodi immediately became serious. Listen to me, from now on be careful in everything. Come on, put on your bulletproof vest first, safety first. Luo Chen was immediately filled with questions. No, as long as you're standing, which man hasn't peed on his hand? What does it have to do with bulletproof vests?